Hello, everybody, and welcome to our second attempt at recording this episode for YouTube. I realized 8 minutes in that I wasn't recording audio because I, even though I've been doing this for 6 years next month, am a professional. So, I'm going to go the spiel again at the beginning, where I'm just going to say it more simply this time. This is a new Call of Cthulhu one-shot. As you might notice, it's super long. And that's because we're trying out some new things on the channel where we're doing less role-playing uploads with the same amount of content time. So you get to enjoy a nice 3 to 4 hour long video of us playing this campaign. Another thing is I believe giving credit where credit is due is very important. I am heavily inspired by a film called The Invitation for this one. So there's going to be a lot of story beats where if you've seen that film, you're going to be like, hey, this seems like that movie. Yes, I'm inspired heavily by it with some other of my own influences. And if you haven't seen the film, I highly recommend checking it out. All right, I did it in a minute this time as opposed to 2. Let's introduce our characters. Megan, who are you playing?
Hello, I am Reginald Wallace. I'm a 39-year-old ship captain. You'll have to excuse my appearance. I've had a run-in with... never mind. Not important. I've been invited to this party. My letters to the Gazette finally made it to her. I was very concerned they weren't going. But I am here this evening with the intention of speaking to the lovely Miss Lacey about her artwork.
Sick. And Marshall, who are you?
Hi, my name's Cicero. I'm a farmer from out east of Red Hall. I'm at this fancy party because this guy named Dean, he's a reporter. He came out to see the giant pumpkin I grown. Man, it was so big. People even, didn't realize the farmhands were going missing until he got there and did a bit, I guess, digging. But I guess this fancy party it needs some country folk like myself to spice it up a bit. So Dean gave me the invite, and I aim to have some good food and meet some interesting people. I'm always down to learn a thing or two from a different perspective. Yeah.
Awesome. And Eric, who are you?
My name is Eleanor, L to my friends, and I am Miri, or Miriam's ex. We haven't spoken in about 4 years, and when I received this invitation, I admit I was a little bit intrigued to see the old friend group and to see how Miri has been doing in her new marriage. I nearly hit a deer on the way here, which already has made me very uncomfortable, and I'm a little unnerved by the portents of that.
So, yes, spoiler alert, in our recording, Eleanor almost hit a deer, but luckily, do a fantastic drive auto check, avoided that issue entirely. So, we're going to start with Eleanor parked outside of the house. I'm going to repeat some stuff here for the viewers who obviously missed what happened before. But this house is in... just outside of like Red Hall proper. Like it's still considered to be Red Hall, but like in the aspect of where like a big expensive house is not really in the city because a rich person doesn't want to live in the city. They want to live in the beautiful mountainside in the forest surrounded by nothing but darkness. The kind of house that people could break in the middle of the night and no, that's my own dream. Don't worry about that. We're actually going to hush up on that one. But it's dark. There's no street lights here. There was just a little lone lantern next to the path up, the road up, the driveway to the house. There are a variety of cars here already. You actually count 1, 2, 3, 4 cars. Sorry, 5 cars parked outside right now.
Wow.
So there are a lot of other guests here. Eleanor, what do you want to do?
Shit, I'm late. I'm going to pull into the nearest available spot, and before I have the convertible retract, properly seal up again, so my car can't be broken into. I am going to light a cigarette to calm my nerves and smoke in my car for a moment, just taking the place in, because this is very not Miri. The size of this place, the location of it.
Yes, so for people who missed the opening bit as well, Miriam has always been she wanted to be an actress when she was younger, but at this point now she just works as a simple job for the Red Hall Gazette. But she has recently remarried to a professor, spoiler alert, a professor from the Red Hall University, who obviously is doing well for himself. Inside of the house, Cicero and Reginald sit awkwardly in a room full of people who know each other better than they know them. You guys were introduced to a gaggle of people, some that you knew, some that you don't. So Cicero, you knew Dean. He's a great guy. You and him have been getting along. You enjoy his bitter sarcasm as life has just continued to slowly slip through his hands. But you were introduced to an actor named Toby, who brought his new girlfriend, Julia, who is kind of just quiet and like you, not really sure who to talk to or what to say, while everyone else is gelling a lot better. There also is a particularly jovial couple, Lacey and Vanessa, who are leading the conversation because they haven't been here for some time. There's only one person currently at the party, one of the hosting. He introduces himself as Marcus. He's a film professor at the Red Hall University, film and philosophy.
Cool.
However, Miriam, as you have heard, Dean, that's who he works with, is nowhere to be seen at the party yet, and Marcus has said that she is still getting ready. There is a variety of chips and dips on the table, some food, some hors d'oeuvres. It looks like this event has been catered, but the caterers are no longer here if it was actually catered, or if just Miriam and Marcus are geniuses in the kitchen, because it looks like everything's prepared and going smoothly. Can you guys both give me a spot hidden check?
Love to try.
No, I cannot with an 86.
I can, but my regular.
All right, so this house is big. It's but unlike what you would see in a lot of modern homes, the architecture and like the space of the house is very closed off. You guys are in a small like living room that's separate from the entrance, and like where like the new trend and like home style is like open concepts. This one still has like walls that cut away the kitchen from the dining room, from the living room, from all this. This house kind of feels like a maze. However, Reginald, you also notice two things that you find rather peculiar. You find one thing that's peculiar and one thing that is pretty normal. The windows have shutters on them that can close. And all of the vents have had their covers unscrewed and removed. Just a strange thing you noticed as you've been sitting in this house.
I will be frowning at these vents quite intently, but I don't know anybody enough to say anything to anyone.
What's pestering your pickle, Reggie?
I'll look over at you. My name is Reginald.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm just putting some chips in my mouth right now. But you got anything you want to talk about? I mean, I'm all ears. Mouth's busy, but that ain't going to be a problem.
I was just noticing that these vents seem to not have their covers attached appropriately. It's very dangerous, these things.
Yeah, I mean, you could get some rodent or something traveling through there. That's going to be a real problem for whatever crops you got going on. I guess they don't got no crops around here.
Kind of just gliding around the room, Marcus, who is an older man nearing his 50s, who is very well put together. He's wearing a nice that fits him very well, a slightly unbuttoned dress shirt and dress pants as he sits down as you guys are having this conversation, and he says, "You guys are talking about the vents, aren't you?" So yeah,
Yep.
We
it's
were.
awful
Yes.
timing. We're getting them replaced. Mary didn't enjoy how they looked in the walls, so we were finding some new ones. And just so happened the guy came in, replaced them today, didn't actually have enough on order, and he said he was just going to wait and get the others. It's just, you know how it is, right? Just sometimes the timing of the universe just doesn't work the way you want it to. So, how do you guys know Miri?
I was a big fan of her writing, actually, particularly the lovely Miss Austen's piece that she wrote a number of years ago. I really wish she'd write more, actually. She was kind enough to invite me so that I could meet her. I'm forever grateful.
Reginald, you said something. So how did you know Miri? I'm just gonna have you repeat that again to make sure that we got it.
Absolutely. I am a big fan of Miriam's work, especially the article she wrote on the lovely Miss Austen. And she actually invited me here specifically to meet her so that we could speak.
That's right. Miri has spoken quite a bit about you and your interest in such a thing. It's
Oh, that's very, very nice of her.
I will. There's definitely going to be time for you to talk to Mrs. Austen, and yeah. And what about you? You came with
Yeah, I came with Dean. Yeah, we had a bit of professional curiosity. He and my work as a local farmer. So as far as like what I know about Miriam, pretty limited at this stage in the venture. But friend of Dean's could be a friend of mine. Happy to be here.
I'm happy to have all of you guys here. It's gonna be a good night. On that note, Lacey chimes in and she says, "So, where is Miri? Is she just, as always, waiting to make one of her big entrances?" She leans over to Julia and says she wanted to be an actor, just like Toby. And you probably know this by now, but actors, they like to make it about them. She says with that kind of just like jokey tone of someone who's not actually serious about this.
Ding.
Marcus stands, looks down at his watch and says, "That's gotta be Hank." And he moves over towards the door. He opens it, but on the other side is Eleanor. What I want to do right now, because it's a kind of a dinner party, I would love to know, ending with Eleanor, what everyone's kind of wearing, what their put together look for a fancy dinner party is. I'll start with Reginald here for this one.
So cruel. Reginald is wearing a button-down shirt with the sleeves rolled up, revealing a number of tattoos on his arms. He's very strong, muscular, by the way. And it's the top collared button is undone and it's loose around his neck. It's just a plain white shirt. It is tucked into a set of slacks that he looks very uncomfortable wearing. And he has just a pair of worn black boots on.
Sick. Honestly, I was very worried that no one here would be a strong character, so I'm happy that you're a bit muscly.
I'm a strong boy.
Marshall, what is Cicero wearing?
Cicero's got his nice church clothes on. He's got like some navy blue pants and a striped line dress shirt. It's a bit too big for him, but it's more comfortable that way.
Heck yeah.
So nothing too fancy, but you could go to church.
Mm-hmm. Sweet. And Eleanor, you're standing at the door.
With my grandpa. I'm role playing with my grandfather. So Eleanor is a vision in her white pantsuit, white jacket, white shoes, light silver pearl necklace and pearl earrings. She doesn't have a hat or a purse, but she also does have a pair of white gloves. And she moves somewhere between the awkwardness of someone who is uncomfortable with being in the space and the muscular grace of a dancer. She is very tall, and she is very comfortable in her movement, even if her face suggests that she is uncomfortable in this space.
Damn.
Awesome. A man close to your age, his eyes kind of get a little shimmer of confusion when he sees you, but then he smiles and he says, "You must be Eleanor," or Elle, as Miriam calls you. My name's Marcus. Marcus Alden.
Charmed to meet you. You must be Miri's husband.
Yes. Hey, come in. Don't stand at the door. Come on in. We're everyone's just getting a drink. Is there anything I can get you? We have some food. Miri will be down right away.
Gin and tonic, please.
Sure, not a problem.
Eleanor looks kind of like amused for a moment, even if her eyes are really conflicted. And she kind of leans in close to Marcus and says, "Is your name really Marcus?"
Yes.
I don't know if Miri ever told you about the theater games we used to play, but if not, remind me sometime tonight to tell you about Marco Polo. I just think
I'd love to hear it. Do you have a jacket or anything I can take? I can put it in the spare room.
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Sure. He steps away, closing the door behind you. Closing the door behind you. While he's doing this, are you guys looking at the door? The two people there, or are you guys kind of just still in conversation?
No.
No, I will absolutely look.
Can you give me a spot hidden, please?
Let's try. I just miss.
All right, thank you. He closes the door behind you and then excuses himself to go make your drink before bringing you into the room where everyone's sitting. Can I also get you, Eleanor, to make a spot hidden check? When you step in, Eleanor, Lacey and Toby both light up. While you are close friends as well with Dean and Vanessa, you were very close friends with Toby and Lacey. Oh my God, so many freaking names. They both stand up and make their way towards you as Marcus excuses himself to go make your drink.
I absolutely fail my spot hidden. I get an 84.
Perfect.
And some of the formality and awkwardness dissolves in her motion, and she moves across the room and hugs them both at the same time, pulling them both in close. And she says, "Lacey, Toby, I'm so excited you're both here. How have you been? What's going on in the theater? What's going on in your lives?"
No, it's just art directors always trying to find the new crazy show to put on. We're always doing weirder and weirder stuff each year, but that shouldn't be a surprise to you. We've always been doing weird stuff. And then Lacey says just that, these questions aren't important right now. I'm just happy you're here, Elle. How are you doing?
I'm going to give Lacey that smile of we're both happy to be here, and we both know that when Miri's in the room, we're going to be happy to be here, which I think says everything. And then she says, "Fabulous, of course, fabulous as always. Who brought the sea captain and the farmer?"
Dean laughs and says, "Sis here, him and I, he's cracked through my shell. He's a good guy, and I thought that, good people deserve a good guy." And
Amen
then
to that, brother.
everyone looks at the sea captain, and they're just like,
Miriam invited me. I'm honored to. He like awkwardly kind of stands and extends a hand to Lacey specifically, and just says, I'm honored to meet you, Miss Zostin."
she kind of just shakes her hand and says, honored is a very specific choice of word. What's the honor?
He'll just kind of awkwardly drop his hand. "I'm a big fan of your work. I would love to talk to you more about it this evening, sometime."
Oh, I have a fan. I have a fan at the dinner party, she says to you, El.
Charming to meet you, Reginald. It's a very thing to invite someone in and have them join our little group. My name's Eleanor, but please, Cicero too, call me Al.
Be my pleasure. You can call me Sis. I mean, that's what the family calls me. If you feel like it. Otherwise, Cicero, that's just fine.
Whichever you prefer.
So,
Hey,
oh, sorry to interrupt. Lacey
I was gonna
just
say-
kind of steps back and then says, so you guys don't know Miri then? Well, you know Miri? She points at you, Reginald.
We've corresponded. I sent her a number of letters to the Gazette, but we haven't really met in person in any depth. No. She seems like a lovely individual.
Lacey looks at you and says, so is this like a fan who's come here to kill me? Like, this seems really strange.
No. I know that I don't look very, but no, I promise I am here on good terms only.
Toby steps into the conversation, cutting the flow here, and says, El, how rude of me. I want to introduce you to Julia. Her and I have been, she's my new, we're a couple, and she's great. He introduces you, brings you over awkwardly in a way that a man who's good and confident in the theater, who is awkward in other aspects of his life.
what's
My
that
eyes,
like?
my eyes briefly lingering on Reginald, and then giving Lacey a disapproving kind of like, don't make the poor man uncomfortable. I'm going to take both of Julia's hands in my gloved hands, and I'm going to smile at her and kind of help save Toby a little bit, and just be like, Julia, I've heard so much about you, and I'm so excited to make your acquaintance. I think that from what it sounds like, you and Toby are very happy, and I would love to know all about you.
It's nice to meet you. Toby's talked about you a lot too. Back when you guys would perform together.
I'm very boring now, I assure you, but I'm happy to share anything you'd like to know.
Lacey sits down and says, the modesty is still the same with you, El. You have never been boring. And I'm confident that tonight's just going to further prove it. It's going to be a good night. On that note, Marcus steps back in, and he gives you, El, your gin and tonic. He says, so everyone's, does anyone else need anything else? I'm happy to continue playing host here before the events of the night begin.
Well, if you're offering, I wouldn't mind a scotch on the rocks.
Not a problem. Anyone else want anything? Food's still good? No, everyone's fine? All right, I'll go. As he is walking to the kitchen, a door opens upstairs, and everyone's eyes are drawn. Who wants to look, that is, to Miriam, standing up at some stairs that wrap around from the room you're in to a hallway upstairs that still kind of just fits that maze-like decor of this house. She is wearing a long, flowing black dress that cuts into a V down the neck that goes a little bit deeper than one would expect at a party like this. But she looks elegant, she looks regal, but there's also something about her outfit that seems like it's a little bit sad. There is the air of a funeral to what she's wearing, even though her pose, stature, and vibe gives nothing of the sort. She looks down at everyone, connects eyes with people one by one, but when she reaches yours, Elle, she smiles and says, Elle, I'm so glad you came. She begins to walk down the stairs towards everyone in the party. Marcus has already left the room. He is not here right now. She comes right towards you, Elle, and she leans in for a hug that turns into a kiss on the cheek.
Everyone else who can see Elle's face sees the brief flicker of like a mask. And then Elle smiles and kisses her back very quickly on the cheek. Then kind of laughs and pulls back, and with a gloved hand is like, Miri, it's so delightful to see you, but, and she kind of licks the thumb of the glove and tries to smear off some of the lipstick that is now just a touch on Miri's cheek. You look stunning. How have things been? What's with all this? She gestures at the house. Still kind of half hugging her.
Yeah, she kind of just leans out of the hug a little bit and says, I'll get to that, Elle. Let me just greet everyone else at the party, and then we can catch up. And she goes down to Lacey. They share a long hug as well. Toby. She doesn't stop at Julia, Cicero, or Reginald, but you don't really feel like you deserve such a greeting.
Fine.
When she sits down in a white chair in the center of the room that no one has really sat at yet in this living room. And she just kind of looks and she says, So, Elle, what have you been up to?
The business is going very well. I've had to hire on a fourth accountant, and I'm actually, she kind of gestures at the house and laughs a little bit. Maybe I'll have to talk to your husband. I'm currently in the market to look at an upgrade for myself.
I'm happy to hear it's going so well. And she motions to you, Reginald, for the first time, and she says, I'm glad you could make it too. Reginald, have you talked with Lacey yet?
We've met, but I look forward to having a deeper conversation with her later. But thank you kindly for your invitation. I was surprised, but very grateful.
Of course.
Yes, thank you.
And she looks at you and says, I'm sorry, I don't know you. She motions to you, Cicero.
Oh, hey, my name's Cicero. Sorry to be, I guess, a new face at your own home. So I'm Cicero. I'm a farmer, a friend of Dean's here. You know, I've just been, sitting here soaking up these delicious hors d'oeuvres. I just want to say thank you for this lovely hospitality. But
You're so kind. Thank you so much. Dean, you've brought an excellent +1 to this party. Marcus steps back in and he says, Miri, you have finally come down. We're just waiting on Hank, and Becky should be out soon too. Miri nods, and then as Marcus gives you the scotch, she asks Marcus for a glass of wine, and Marcus says, coming right up, and he leaves the room again. I want to just stop right now for the conversation. Does anyone want to do anything outside of this room? Want to look for the bathroom, anything of the sort, or do you guys want to just continue to stay here?
I think I'm good to circulate, just stay here for now.
Sure.
For the moment, yeah. Just
Sure.
okay.
Elle.
I'm kind of aiming at trying to kind of circulate towards Reginald in a way that won't put Lacey in earshot.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little.
So if it's in this living room, that won't be possible right now, but there is lots of party left to happen.
I was going to say, that would be amusing because Reginald is intentionally lingering on the outside of every conversation Lacey is having. He's not going to interrupt because he's totally not a part of any of these groups, but he is lingering for sure, waiting.
Miriam looks at you, Eleanor, and she says, "It's been a long time."
About 4 years now, I think.
Yes. Since I've met Marcus.
Is that how long you've been together?
Yes. He's wonderful. He's kind. He is impossibly creative. You know how much I've liked storytellers and the such. He's a professor at Red Hall University. He teaches both philosophy and film. Film is his passion. I'm sure he's going to talk your ear all about it off tonight.
I've always been a little bit more interested in theater, but
I was too for the longest time, but he's kind of shown me the magic of film, and honestly, we've actually been creating together. I've become somewhat of an actor again.
Actress, but I'm so happy to hear that, and I'm so happy to hear that he's opening those doors for you. Honestly, Miri, he sounds perfect for you. I couldn't be happier to hear about it.
Lacey is just nodding and says, "So, Miri, why didn't you make it to my last gallery?"
Yes, I'd like to know that as well, actually.
Yeah, me and my biggest fan here are curious. Miri just kind of hums and haws on that and says, "I'm sad I missed it, truthfully, but we were away from Red Hall when that happened. We were on vacation. Summer seasons, Marcus likes to travel."
Did you go anywhere nice?
Oh, many wonderful places.
By air or sea?
By air.
The ocean is a wonderful, wonderful place. You should let me take you out sometime as a thank you for this wonderful experience.
Dean looks over and says, "Do you have a cruise ship?"
No, it's only a a small charter vessel, but
I was on a cruise ship once, and the food in the buffet was really bad. But when you go down into the restaurant each night, that food was really good. Why do you think that is?
Yes, your professional opinion as a captain of a boat.
I mean, I'm asking. He seems like he would know.
I don't dabble in cruise ships, I'm afraid, and there is no food on my vessel unless you catch it yourself.
So you just eat raw fish then?
It's only short excursions that I
okay. So that's what you do as a job. You're a captain of a fishing boat?
A charter vessel. I travel people to smaller islands. For example, Duncan Island. If you went off the ferry, I could.
Duncan Island's a bit too touristy for me, but it's a nice place, I guess.
Me as well. I actually prefer to go to smaller ones or further afield, as it were.
Yeah. Cicero, you ever been on a boat?
Yes, I have. I've been landlocked most of my life. Hey, you ever done one of the at-sea weddings that captains can do?
Oh.
I can't say that I have. No, that's never come up. But
could you? Because if I get married again, I think I'd love to do it on a boat. If I can find a woman who will stay with me long enough and, get used to this. You get it. You're a captain. You probably have a hard time locking down a lassie, don't you?
Cicero.
This conversation is broken by the doorbell ringing, and Marcus glides in and opens the door to a tall man, probably like nearly 6'7". He is older. He's not overweight, but he's a bit pudgy around the edges, but his stature gives him an imposing strength. He's balding, has glasses on, and he just looks a bit clumsy, but at the same time that he's just, there's something about him that's just kind of like this menace to him, even if he does look like he's a bit cute around the edges. Him and Marcus hug when they see each other. Marcus then closes the door. Can you guys give me a spot hidden, please?
Oh, fuck. No, that's 100.
Sorry, Marshall and Elle, did you guys do it?
Fail.
I succeeded on like my hardest difficulty.
Wait,
oh boy, that's good.
Did you get 100 or do you get 1, Megan? I can't remember which way the dice go.
0.
Yeah, it's 100.
Okay.
Yeah. Eleanor, you notice that this front door has a key lock on the inside. Marcus brings the man in and says, "Everyone, this is my excellent friend Hank. He is a woodworker. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys have seen his stuff at some of the local farmers markets in the city. Hank, it's his first time out in a while, and he's happy to be here. Isn't that right, Hank?" Hank nods and says, just very plainly, "It's nice to meet all of you."
Pleasure's all ours, Hank. I'm Cicero. Might be a new face to you as well as many people here, but look to talking. I love a man who uses his hands.
Yes, I enjoy. I'm a woodworker. He comes and he just sits. Notably, Marcus does not ask Hank if he wants a drink. What do you do? He asks you, Cicero. Hank continuing the conversation.
Well, I'm a farmer out east. I've been nursing this dirty great pumpkin. I mean, it's massive. Like overnight, it grew maybe 150 to 170 pounds.
You're the farmer with the giant pumpkin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I read that article in the Gazette. Dean comes in and says, You read my article. I wrote that article about the giant pumpkin. I wrote that article. This is amazing. This is great.
Look at us drawing these lines of connection.
Wow.
Funny how things all turn out.
Hank nods and says, "Small world. Small world." While this has been happening, of course, in your heads, there has been small, quiet conversations happening in the groups as everything is happening. Reginald, with your one ear on Lacey's conversation, she's focusing a lot on just catching up with Miriam. She's not really doing any talking about her art right now. They're talking about just life, how things have been going, who's sick recently. Oh no, this person died. Oh, that sucks. That's really sad. Same with you as well, Eleanor. You're kind of just eavesdropping in on that conversation while all this is happening too. But nothing notable is really happening in these conversations. Hank is kind of awkwardly leans in and grabs a small cup quiche and then just pops it in his mouth and just chews it slowly. I like your tattoos.
Oh, thank you very much.
I have some tattoos from my military days.
I definitely didn't get these from that, unfortunately, but I'm very grateful for your sacrifice.
Thank you. It doesn't matter where the tattoos come from. I just think they're nice.
Thank you. They mean a lot to me, actually. I'm grateful for them too.
Marcus moves over to Miriam as she signals him over, and he leans in and she whispers something in his ears. If anyone would like to eavesdrop in on this, I would like a listen check, please.
No.
Yeah, sure, why not? Nope.
We hear nothing.
Cicero, did you hear it?
Nope.
All right. He then leaves the room after that.
I'm gonna finish my scotch like in one go, and then stand and rub my hands on my pants and just be like, "Well, I'm just gonna find the facilities, and I will come right back. Thank you for excusing me." And awkwardly leave.
Cool. So you're going to go search for the bathroom?
Pretty much, yeah.
Why don't you give me, this is going to sound really weird, but a navigation check.
Sorry, what?
A navigation check.
Oh, I'm reasonably good at that.
I'd hope so.
She pulls out like the full-on boat radar and just says, "Okay, I gotta go there. Turn
The
left."
sextant, actually.
Really
Yeah,
badly, though. I rolled an 80, so no.
So you are looking for the bathroom. The hallways are very tight, and the missing vents are continued down the hallways as you go through this whole room. From what you can tell, it's going to be like this throughout the whole house. You notice that there is some stairs down into the basement, down one of the doorways, where there is a dim amber light coming from the bottom of the steps that carpeted and spin around with, it's, even though this is a new house, it has like that old paneled wood wall going down into the basement.
Yeah.
At the bottom of the curve, there is another open vent, kind of just angled into the wall. And there are two doors at the end of this hall that both catch your interest. One, there is a muted conversation coming from it between Marcus and a woman. And it's kind of cracked open that you could peek in. And the other door is closed.
I want to peek.
Sure.
I'm curious.
Lying on a bed in that room is a young woman, maybe in her early to mid-20s. And she is wearing only an open house coat as she's lying on a bed. And Marcus is standing there, looking over her, just talking, saying, Miri wants you to come join the party. It would be great if you could come out and talk with everybody. The woman on the bed, she seems kind of dazed, and she's just kind of like nodding, and she's like, I'll come out right away. I just want to stay in here a bit longer. And then Marcus says, Becky, you gotta come out. This is a party. We're having a party. You know what this is all about. You need to come out. She nods and says, is it time yet? And then Marcus says, no, later. Come on out. Come out to the party. Just get dressed and come on out.
Cool. I'm gonna like back away slowly and try the other door, because if I'm gonna be caught down here, I want to at least be looking like I'm looking for the bathroom.
Luckily, there is a bathroom here.
Yes.
It's a small, quiet little thing with, once again, has the vents removed. This seems to be a small guest bathroom. So even though you failed, you ultimately did nail it.
Right.
Back in the main room, I assume you're just peeing in the bathroom, right? Or something of the sort? Yeah.
Yeah. Very normal bathroom activities.
Yeah.
Yeah, drop an anchor.
Cicero and Elle, is there anything you guys want to be doing in the conversations? Anything you want to lead a conversation?
I'm happy just to listen. Yeah.
I definitely want to pull aside Lacey for a moment and just be like, very quietly, I know it's been a while, but we both know how Miri likes to take on a bit of a pet project in people, especially audience members. Be a little bit nicer to the captain, maybe? He seems a touch uncomfortable, and you know I love you, and you know I love your humor, but telling him that he's a murderer in a stranger's house is going to give anyone kind of a bad feeling.
He's a... I'm not worried. A sailor has to have that sense of humor. He has to be thinking to himself. He's probably like, "Oh no, does she think I'm gonna kill me? No, it's fine. You know, I'm not worried. I'm not actually worried."
I know you're not, but I'm not sure that Reginald knows that, and maybe it would be nice if you talked to him a bit. I know he's being a bit clingy, but this is what Miri does. We both know it.
All right, I'll talk to him. You're right, and I'll stop calling him a murderer or a creepy fan or obsessed. All these words, I'll stop using them. I'll just take them out of my vocabulary and throw them in another room.
I mean, he's a little creepy. Like, we can agree to that, but...
See, I'm just saying what everyone, she motions to all the people in this room, is thinking.
Yes.
Yeah, Miriam says he's honestly, he is quite nice. He's persistent and slightly aggressive. He really wants to talk to you, though, about your work. He loves what you do. And Lacey says, yes, and that's why he wants to wear me as a skin suit one day. It's totally natural and normal. I get it.
Elle laughs in spite of herself. She really doesn't want to be encouraging this, but then she's just like, she shoots Lacey that look of like, I'm not going to tell you to stop because I love you, but stop.
While this is happening, Cicero, can you give me a psychology check, please?
Oh, yeah. I got a little bit of a chance of that. Nope.
All right, thank you. Marcus comes back into the room alone. Miriam gives him a look as he does, and he just kind of just shakes his head. And then says, like, just puts up like 2 fingers, and then he moves in. And he says, so, Elle, you had a Marco Polo story to tell me. He sits next to Miriam on the large white seat on the arm.
Miriam could probably tell it better than I could, but when Miri and I were first dating, I did some of the costuming for the theater, and I didn't like being alone in the space. The theater can be a very dark place when you're alone, and I'm not a huge fan of those lights they keep on stage. They just kind of add an ambiance to the place. So I used to call out Marco sometimes. And Miri, who didn't let me know that she was there, doing some cleaning up and practicing some of her lines, started whispering Polo back. A little bit louder each time. I was sure that I was imagining it at first, but it kind of became our thing after I nearly tripped and fell trying to escape out of the auditorium. And it's something we always used to do when we were both working in and around the stage. So I just think it's wonderful now that she has found her Marco, or Marcus in this case.
Honestly, that's you did not lie. That is a great story. Are you, do you believe in ghosts? Are you superstitious?
I think that people have enough to worry about without worrying about the ones we leave behind and the ones who leave us behind.
I mean, my philosophy on it right now is that humans exactly this are kind of ghosts enough in themselves, and a dinner party is really just a bunch of figments of pasts, ghosts if you will, getting together and finding an actual physical shape in this world. We're here. I've heard stories of you, memories, and now we're finally taking a concrete shape.
Elle has an awkward pause and then lies. And is like, the same with you, Marcus. I've heard so many things and I can't wait to connect them to the, what was the word you used? The concrete shell?
How about, does anyone else here? Do any of you guys believe in ghosts, or if you're superstitious, or if you've heard stories about our wonderful city.
I come back around this corner.
Oh, there's a beat that you can have as well, if you want to actually wait for that beat.
I'll wait then.
Sure. Okay.
I mean, I've heard some crazy stuff that's happened. People heard my farmhands were disappearing. They thought all sorts of crazy nonsense. Just weird coincidence is what I ended up on. But I mean, Dean, what did you think in the end?
Honestly, it really kind of all just boils down to the same thing, sis. It's just kind of like people go missing.
Yeah. Stuff happens. That's about it.
It's a big city. Your farm is honestly also, you're closer to the forest than most other farms. It could have been a bear, it could have been a wolf, right? Hungry, desperate, came on out. I don't believe in ghosts. There's tons of stories for everything in this city that happens. On that note, Hank mutters and says, yeah, there's tons of stories. Reginald, as you step out of the bathroom, are you trying to be quiet about it, or are you just coming out like a normal human?
As far as I'm concerned, this is the bathroom I'm supposed to be in. It's fine.
All right. The door is cracked open wider than it did before, and the woman is standing in the doorway as she is pulling over a green dress over her body, and she connects eyes with you as she is doing so.
Oh, I'm so sorry, miss. I didn't mean to intrude. And I'll just kind of start going up the stairs again.
She says, how do you know Marcus?
I'll pause on the steps and still shielding my eyes, just
She says it's okay, the dress is down.
I'm not actually acquainted with Marcus very well. I actually don't know many people here particularly well, though I am looking to get to know one better. But I'm sorry. My name is Reginald Wallace.
She walks over to the door. As she walks, her head kind of just like hangs from side to side as her eyes kind of look a bit glassed over, and she speaks with this sing-songy voice. She says, my name's Becky Jones. Nice to meet you. I'm an actress. I've been working with Miriam and Marcus for a while now. She extends a hand.
I will take her hand and hold the other side with my other hand and just kind of lean in a little bit and just be like, excuse my asking, but are you all right?
I've never been better. Tonight is a very special night. Her eyes are kind of like, she has a bit thicker eyeliner than she should, which makes her eyes look even more sunken. And her blonde hair is a little ratty, as if like she hasn't cleaned it in a while. But she says she's feeling fine, and she's happy, and that tonight's a good night.
I'll, after shaking her hand, kind of let it drop and just, can I escort you upstairs then?
That's very gentlemanly of you, she says, while also not slurring like I did there. Yeah, you can lead her into the party.
As we're going up the stairs, I'll just, so why is this evening so special? Excuse me, I'm not exactly sure what this party is for.
When you ask that, she taps twice on your chest and then runs her hand from your chest down towards your stomach and says, I don't want to ruin Marcus's surprise.
I'll carefully move her hand from my stomach to my arm, and just say, all right, and quietly continue walking. There will be a couple times where I clear my throat as if I'm going to say something, but I don't know what to say to this person anymore.
As you clear your throat and talk, she asks, have you seen any, do you watch a lot of movies?
No, very few actually. I'm not especially interested in film, and I spend a lot of time out on the ocean. There's not much time for that.
You have a boat?
Yes, I'm a captain of a charter vessel.
Oh, that's neat. You should watch more films. They're wonderful.
I may do so in the future. Yes.
We're in pre-production for one now.
Oh, what is it called?
She kind of just like shakes her finger back and forth and she says, I don't want to ruin Marcus's surprise. You guys get up to the landing where you guys, everyone else, sees that Reginald is helping carry, even though she is walking on her own, a young woman, noticeably younger than everyone else at this party. Like, Reginald, you said you were 39? Mm-hmm. You were the youngest person here. Becky is like 22. She is very young. She immediately comes over and Hank stands and gives her a hug. And then she moves in as everyone is just like, Miriam says, everyone, I would like you to meet Becky, as she kind of goes around the line introducing everyone. And then Becky sits on the other arm of the large white chair. Becky says, I'm an actress. I've been working with Marcus and Miri for some time now. We're making a movie. Her head is kind of still, she's kind of like, she just looks like she's not all here, but her words, like, she still like seems very like her words are fine, like she's talking normally, but there's just something about her that just feels a bit off.
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you, Becky. How did you and it seems to be the question of the night. How did you and Miri meet?
Miri actually answers for this one. She was a student of Marcus's at the university. And once we started filming, she was interested in the projects that Marcus was working on with me. And she's joined, and she's an absolute wonder of a performer. She has tapped into characters that, at her age, I couldn't fathom tapping into.
Wow.
That's high praise. What kind of films, Marcus, do you make? What's, I guess, the genre or the theme?
On that note, Marcus kind of just smiles and stands and says, I mean, everyone's here. I think it's time, is it not? I would like to bring anyone who is interested downstairs to watch a short film. Not one of my own, but a sort of inspiration for tonight's events. Who here all comes from various forms of art, from the majority of you anyway? Who here has seen some of the local pieces of Red Hall? At Footlight Theater. They tore it down 2 years ago. It's a damn shame, taking away the heart of film in this city, but luckily that heart is persistent and continues to beat on. A few people nod. Toby says he's seen a few. Dean's like, yeah. Hank's nodding along, but Hank's kind of like, he's not really listening right now. He's kind of like there with Marcus.
I can't say I've seen much of the local films of the city, but I'm always down for a dinner and a show.
I was telling Becky this on our way up the stairs, but unfortunately, film isn't really my my genre.
Well, you are in for a treat for anyone who wishes to watch it. Elle, I know you've always been... Sorry, Eleanor. I know you've always been one for theater over film, but you must have seen some of the stuff here. You've always been one, at least back in the 90s and the aughts, that lived in everything art in Red Hall.
I used to, yes, but it's been a while. I was sad to hear when the theater closed.
Well, luckily, when they destroyed it, they found something incredible. A series of reels of old films, 8 millimeters. Can I ask you something, Eleanor? Have you ever seen a film from 1995? It's called The Faceless. A horror film by a local director who went missing 2 years ago.
I can't say I usually take in horror films from the area. I'm sure as someone who grew up in Red Hall, you understand there's a lot of stories around them. I used to have a very strong imagination. I took a lot of the warnings to heart.
Well, in the ruins of Footlight, they found some 8 millimeter reels that seem to have almost been successors to The Faceless. And that director never made a film after that. But the strange thing is that these films, the reels were dated years, decades before The Faceless was ever filmed.
So not successors then, probably
Inspiration.
work.
Well, tonight, I would like to show you all one of those reels. And then I want to propose a pure frenzy of artistic creation with everyone here in this room.
Cool.
I'm looking for producers, so to speak. I'm looking for performers. He looks at you, Eleanor. I'm looking for whatever we can. You'll understand once you see the film. He motions towards the steps that are on the opposite side of the room and says, I have a theater downstairs. Why don't we head down?
I'll start walking and I'll just kind of say offhandedly, like, if you're looking for produce, I can only supply a certain kind of it, unfortunately. But I'll watch this film. I'll keep an open mind.
Producer.
I would love to see this film. Could I speak with Miri for just a moment?
Miri looks at you and says, we'll talk after the showing, once we start serving dinner.
Okay.
This is very important to me. The film is fantastic.
All right.
I will see if I can navigate my way to Lacey and offer to escort her downstairs to watch the film.
Lacey
In the same
looks
fashion that I offered Becky.
Lacey looks at her wife and just then looks at you and says, I have my knight in shining armor. I hope you don't mind, Vanessa. And Vanessa says, you do you. This is your night. And she lets you escort her down.
Excellent.
Who is the last person to go down?
I'm going to link arms with Vanessa and make jokes about trading off.
All right.
So I'm with Vanessa wherever she is.
The last two people then in that case to come downstairs are Hank and Marcus. And YouTube, you're not going to miss anything, but we're going to take a small little recording break here. But if you like this kind of Call of Cthulhu content, why don't you like, comment, and subscribe for more. We'll be back in literally 1 second for you, but probably 5 minutes for us. When you guys get downstairs, it's exactly as Marcus described. It is a small theater with a few rows of actual theater seats. This guy has my dream basement, which is a little theater. There is, noticeably though, the projector actually is a pull-down projector. It's not actually in the wall, but there is an old film camera with for 8mm reels pointed at a white wall. Noticeably though, there is a strange symbol painted on the wall. looks to be professionally done, not like as if someone just did it that night. The symbol you can't really place. It's like a circle with like a triangle, like a V going through it. It's nothing like that you guys notice. You guys could try occult checks if you want. If you view the symbol as occult, it also kind of just looks like avant-garde art.
I'll try.
Sure.
Because I'm either going to get it as a cult or I'm going to ask
Lacey?
about it. Yeah, ask Lucy. No, I don't pass. Close though.
It just looks like some avant-garde art for you.
Cool. I will lean in inspecting it to Lacey and just say, I'm not familiar with this piece. Do you know anything about it?
She says straight-faced to you, oh yes, that's a Bolton's.
A Bolton's? Does it...
I'm sorry, Reginald. It's nothing. I don't know what that is. I thought you'd understand that was sarcasm. Sorry.
No, so sorry for, you see, I'm very, I'm nervous to talk to you. I really would like to speak with you about some of your work alone at some point this evening. There's a specific piece that I'm very interested in. I have some questions about the creation process, and I might consider purchasing it off of you if that was something.
Oh, then yes, I would love to talk to you alone about this. That sounds absolutely wonderful.
Excellent. I'm so pleased that you're interested.
As you guys all get down and take seats in the theater, Miriam offers a seat next to her for you, Elle.
Absolutely.
Notably on her other side, though, she offers a seat to Becky as well.
I would like to... I would like to roll like kind of a low-key persuade roll.
Sure.
And I would like to say to Miriam... Oh, fuck. Totally failed. So, this is going to be great. It's... You and Becky seem to be very close, and I just wanted to make sure she's feeling okay tonight.
Yes, she's fine. She's always like this. She just kind of has we always joke that she's half here and half somewhere else.
And you and Marcus and Becky are an item?
No, nothing of the sort. Becky just lives here while we are in pre-production for Marcus's film.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that there's nothing untowards.
Marcus and Hank come down last. Hank goes and stands behind everybody. He is tall enough that over the tiered seats he can still see through, but there's still this ominous figure in the back of the theater watching over everybody's shoulder as Marcus pulls down a projector screen covering the symbol with just a clean white projector sheet. And he turns and he says, I have to be honest, this film is a bit frightening, so Elle, if you don't like horror films, you might want to hide for this. This film is... We've seen lots of bombastic films in our life before, and some directors really know how to push it. I can say confidently that the director of this film has indeed pushed it. I'm sorry, I'm giving a lecture that I'd give to the students at the university. This film is truly a marvel, and I'm happy to share with it with all of you tonight. But I just want to warn you, if you do get scared, there is no shame in hiding your eyes. But it's worth it to watch. He moves back through that to the back of the theater space, and he begins to run an 8mm film reel through the projector. There is the whirring as the lights turn off and a grainy square fills up the center of the projector. At this point, Dean asks if anyone has popcorn, and a few people chuckle nervously at the response. And Dean's attempt at breaking the weird mood, unfortunately, did not work. The film...
I was actually going to lean into Miri, gently putting a hand on hers when the awkwardness started, because I am a little scared. But then I'm going to say to her in kind of like an audible whisper, he's a bit of a director, isn't he? I can see why you like him.
Oh, yes, yes. He dreams big. The film opens up with a young woman looking towards right into the camera as whoever is filming her is walking with the small camera behind her. The woman in this film looks a little bit like similar to Becky, right? We're kind of just like younger with kind of just short hair. Do they just look very similar? Obviously, like not the same glassed over look, but like the appearance is a little bit uncanny. The woman looks scared as they stand in front of an entrance to an old house. Noticeably, there is a flicker of something in her eyes, like a light just off camera, as her eyes just kind of like dart as if she's listening to someone talk to her behind the camera, but there's no sound. There's just the running sound of the projector, the film going through it, as she's nodding in this black and white footage. She then says something, but the words are inaudible, and she turns and moves into the house. The camera follows her with no cuts as she begins to walk through this house that is really strangely structured. It's old, abandoned, covered in dust and cobwebs. Furniture's been tipped over. There's holes in the floor. And the interior of the house is almost maze-like as she moves through it. Throughout the entire time, she's looking over her shoulder, back towards the camera to make sure it's still following her. Each time she does, she says something, but once again, the footage is inaudible. And she nods and continues going. When they reach the end of a hallway to a closed door, she pauses, turns to the camera, again, just speaks to someone, but you can tell that they're in the middle of an argument. The footage then cuts for the first time to a nondescript figure spinning behind a piece of nylon fabric. At this point, Marcus comes in and says, this is a fantastic technique they used to do. They are literally shooting through fabric. It gives it a sort of dreamlike look. There was a film, Wings of Desire. They shot the entire thing, pushed right against the lens. It made the whole thing seem, and then he pauses and says, sorry, this is just my natural instinct with this. I will be quiet. The person continues to spin behind this fabric. They seem to be just a nude, featureless humanoid figure, and then it cuts back to the woman continuing to look through the house. She continues to look at the camera, pausing every few seconds, as she is poking her head into small holes on the wall as if she's looking for something. With each hole, she kind of looks back and then shakes her head, and there is a shake of the camera, almost as if someone behind is giving an order to the woman. She nods and then continues to look from hole to hole. It cuts back to the strange figure spinning behind the fabric. The camera is pushed in closer this time as if the lens has changed, and the lens distorts the figure slightly as they continue to spin. They are spinning faster to an almost nauseating degree. There is still no sound, and just the sound. The only sound you can hear is the footage continuing to run through the projector and the flicker of the light every second as the machinery whirs. It cuts to the woman. She is standing with her back against a wall. There is a hole in the wall behind her, just next to her shoulder. She's staring towards the camera, and a tear is running down her cheek. She's nodding, saying something, as if she is once again talking with the person behind the camera. And then, can I get sanity checks from each of you?
All good. 2.
Totally fine. 17.
I passed.
Nice job, guys. You guys all only take 1 point of sanity when you see what happens next. From the hole in the wall, a white, pale hand reaches through. A long arm follows it, longer than you would naturally expect from someone's reach. And it wraps its fingers around the woman's throat and begins to pull her into the hole in the wall. She folds up. The camera does not cut as her head is pulled in and her neck wrenches down over herself as her shoulders bend and snap as she is pulled into the hole until her entire body breaks and there is nothing left except the hole in the wall, the whirring of the footage, and then the film cuts to black with only 5 letters on the screen. A title, perhaps. Natra. The reel then runs out. The room is quiet. Becky applauds.
Elle's gonna take her hand down from in front of her face. She didn't stop watching, but her fingers were like this. And she's going to look at Miri.
Miri's just kind of nodding and just breathing, and she's just like, it's fantastic. The lights turn on as Marcus stands in front of the room.
So, Mr. Film Person, how'd they do that? I mean, the contortion of the body, that's something.
It's disturbingly realistic, isn't it?
I'll say.
That's the true marvel of this. We don't know. We assume that the woman, like Becky, is a contortionist. And they never cut the camera. It's what I'm still trying to figure out. This is the first piece of 5 of something that we in the film community only call by the title at the end, which is Natra. There is no director, no crew, no credits. It's wonderful.
It's a mystery.
It's certainly a marvel of special effects.
And for the time that it was made, the time we placed it on, which was the 40s or 50s, such a thing, those effects just weren't there back then. I'm having a hard enough time figuring out how I'm going to recreate it now, but luckily, I feel like I'm closer than ever. It's my dream to make the 6th film in this series.
The only person who can likely hear me is Lacey, but I mumble, "It's good to have dreams," under my breath.
And you said that Becky was staying here while you're in pre-production. You gonna film it in this building, in this house?
Yes, we're going to film it in this
Oh.
house. Less run down than the one in Natural One, but it's... He pauses and says, I think it's best if we continue the rest of this conversation over dinner, and maybe continue to catch up. Tonight, even though is about this, it's also about all of us. And he motions to you, Eleanor, and says, it's also about finding the ghosts inside of us and grounding again.
Well, it sounds like a meal, maybe to help settle those of us who were very affected by this performance, would be excellent before we talk about any of the logistics or producing that you're looking for the 6th Natra.
He motions and says, then let's head back upstairs. We have dinner ready. Hank goes first.
Yeah, he does.
I will, as Vanessa goes to leave, I will pass off Lacey to her wife again, now having essentially...
On that note, Lacey actually says, let's stay down here. We can talk down here and figure...
wonderful.
I mean, we just saw that spooky film. You're a generally spooky guy. I would love to hear more about what you have to say. I think I saw a cut, though. You know? I think Marcus isn't looking close enough. I think I saw a cut in that.
I am no expert in anything in that realm. To me, that looked like we watched someone actually die.
Let me tell you something. A lot of shitty directors make shitty films that are shot in black and white on 8mm because you can hide fucking anything. There's no way we just watch someone die. At every gallery I go to, there's always in the corner of the room someone making a film like that. Don't worry.
I mean, that film is very old. It really doesn't concern me. That person is long gone. But I understand that is a great comfort. Yes. And I'll kind of like wait for the last person to leave the room before I continue my awkward sentence.
Eleanor and Cicero, did you guys want to do anything? Or are you guys just going to go out for dinner?
I'll head up for dinner.
I'm actively breaking away from Miri now, looking, well, much more serious. And I am, like, not continuing to hold her hand. I am heading up alone.
Sounds good.
I think Cicero, as he's going through the house now, like he's a bit unnerved, so he's gonna be like keeping an eye out just for anything strange. Like I think he's doing that thing where you expect the film to be real life, so he's like, I don't want any holes in this wall. I don't want any holes.
As you're walking, you notice all of the vents that have been pulled away and left open.
All right.
No.
I'm gonna just look up to the ceiling because I don't want to look down
Sounds good.
as I'm walking.
Reginald, it is just you and Lacey downstairs.
The work that you do, the avant-garde, is very interesting to me. One piece in particular, I saw a creature, one that I don't know if you intended it to be there, but I distinctly, it spoke to me, as it were. I wonder if you know the piece that I'm speaking of. It was early on, and Miriam wrote specifically about it in your show that she went. There's a you'll probably think I'm crazy, but there's something out there on the sea, especially near Red Hall, and it's plagued my ship for a while, and me by extension, and I wondered if the piece that you painted, you knew anything about it.
Which piece is it?
He pulls out a piece of paper from his pocket, and it's literally a copy of like a description, the title and description of an early piece of work. I didn't decide on a name. You can
No, that's fine. Yeah. She looks at it,
Yeah.
and she says, "Yes, I remember this one. I'm honestly very grateful to hear it struck you so. A lot of my ideas come from experimentation and my dreams, so I can't say directly that it's related to you, but sometimes we see what we want to see in art, or sometimes it was already there to begin with."
Do you still have it?
The piece? I do, yes.
I do think I would like to purchase it from you. Whatever the cost, I'm not concerned. Whatever you feel it is worth to let it go.
She opens up her bag that she has with her, and she pulls out a business card and says, "Here's my my studio's number. If you call, I'll gladly arrange this with you."
Thank you, and he'll just take it. And I appreciate this. I'm a little disappointed that you didn't have more for me. I was hoping to find someone at least who had experienced something similar, but I appreciate this nonetheless. Art is a connection, after all.
Yes. I'm sorry, I wish I could have helped more, but I am happy to sell you the painting.
Thank you. I will be watching your art still in the future. Perhaps your dreams will speak to me.
I hope so as well.
And I'll stand and make my exit so that it is not an awkward moment.
Cicero, as you come up, Hank, you see Hank is near the front entrance, inputting a code into a security system that is causing the whatever I call them. The word is just the panels sliding up from covering the windows.
Oh, wow.
All those shutters.
Shutters, yeah, the shutters, the metallic shutters from covering the windows.
Did I get to see him like do the whole combo, or only
Nah, just like the last little bit of it.
What's the last digit?
Probably an 8. An 8 or
An
a
8.
0.
8 or a 0. Good to know. That'll come in handy.
What do you mean? All right. They bring in a few. Hank and actually Becky are bringing in the food for everyone as they're seated around the table. There are wine bottles open, and everyone except Hank is taking drinks. And when everyone sits down, Miriam lifts up a glass to propose a toast. I want to thank all of you for coming tonight. It means a lot to me to see you all, to see how the years have changed us so much and so little at the exact same time. And tonight is a night about love, new and old, dreams, creation, and discovery. thank you all for watching that film. And tonight is just beginning. She then takes a drink.
I'm gonna smell my wine and then take a drink.
It's nice wine. It's nice wine. Marcus has put the money in it. Everyone's quietly eating and catching up. Would anyone like to say anything or bring up any points that they want to discuss?
I would have sat myself both near Cicero and Elle if I could, as within talking distance. Obviously, that's the problem with dinner parties is you got to choose your quadrant.
You're pretty close. Elle's kind of closer to Miriam, but you can still. She's like away, while Cicero is like right across from you.
A 95-point turn. Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And sorry, what?
Like parking.
Like parking, yes. And I would just, in passing in conversation, kind of clear my throat as I do. And Elle, I wanted to thank you for your defense earlier. And he kind of awkwardly laughs as he does.
It's no problem. Reginald, I feel, to be honest, that you're carrying yourself quite well. I mean, it must be awkward to be here at a dinner party with a bunch of strangers.
It's it's certainly not my forte.
What's the most interesting island you've ever headed out to? You said you had some favorites.
There's a small shoal off the coast I am very fond of. A network of partially submerged caves. An excellent dinghy spot. But it's difficult to get to. You have to know when the tides are right, and it's only accessible at some points of the year. You really need to be fairly good at reading the stars. He kind of drifts off as he's talking.
And, Sis.
Are we eating is it like a big buffet table? Like, is all the food set on the table here?
No, there seems to be pre-made meals for everyone. That's like from the caterers. It's like a nice piece of steak, some potatoes, some veggies.
Okay. Cicero's gonna be like standing up, reaching for the salt and pepper. Then
yeah, there's bread rolls as well you could grab for.
Yeah, he's just grabbing a few things. He's like, oh yeah, oh sorry, don't mind my reach now. I don't want anyone thinking I'm coming to grab them or nothing. And I'm just gonna sit back down. Yeah, what you saying, Elle?
What's your thought on all this talk that everyone's been throwing around about dreams and creation and all of this stuff? I'd be interested to hear your perspective on all of this kind of high art talk.
Well, I may not look it, but I've been to some high parts of society before. I'm an educated man. I got my degree in agriculture. Figuring out how the land works. I've always found there's a tangible solution to everything. Big pumpkin, I must be a great farmer. So as far as dreams go, I mean, we think it, but then we got to do it in the end. So dreams are really just the starting point for what we end up doing for ourselves.
Do any of you have any guesses as to how that ending was accomplished?
On that question, Hank, who is sitting near you guys, speaks up. And he says, I think I know how they did it.
Oh.
Do you guys have any regrets? Anything you've done that you hate yourself for and you're just trying to make better?
A few.
You sound like a man looking with a competition. Something on your mind, Hank?
I'm just curious. Trying to see here if I'm the only one. He lifts up his glass of water and takes a drink.
I think it's only natural to have some regrets. That's just being.
What's yours? What did you do?
It's not polite to dinner conversation.
No one's listening. They're all in their own world. This right now is just us.
I will incredibly awkwardly look from party member to party member within those in the surrounding area.
You can see that like Dean is listening in on this, but a lot of other people are like not. Becky's kind of just in her own world as well. She's just kind of like, absent-mindedly like using her fork to push her mashed potatoes across the plate, not really eating. She kind of looks like she's nervously waiting for something.
Well, if I'm being honest, I regret coming to Red Hall.
Why?
Just, it would have been better otherwise.
What made it bad?
Look, there are lots of other people at this table. You can't be expecting me to be the focus of attention. That's really not my forte. He looks at Elle again, using the same word he did before.
But why?
You know, Hank, I think I probably have a few answers. Let's give Reginald a chance to choke down some of that food he's been eating.
All right. What do you regret? What did you do?
Oh, so many things. I regret ever dancing for someone else. I used to love doing it, and when it became a job, it lost all of its appeal. I hurt someone once in self-defense. I thought they were trying to break into my car, and I might have hit them with the door. They were fine, but I am shocked that that was my first response. Something I think about a lot. And then a lot of little things. Small choices. You know how it is. They add up. And then you find yourself in places you didn't expect to be, and it takes a long time to untangle yourself. How about you, Hank? What's your regret?
Yours aren't regrets. Yours are just passing musings of personal sadness. We've all hurt someone in a way that's irreparable. What did you do?
Are you asking me?
No, he's speaking to Elle still.
No.
I left. I think that's the worst thing that I've ever done to someone. I left. I think there was someone in my life who needed me, and who needed my help figuring some things out, and I think that they are still looking.
He doesn't say anything to that. He just looks over at Miriam and then back at you.
Elle blushes and takes a much bigger drink of wine.
This is when he nods and he just says, "We can't keep these inside of us." That's what I was looking for. What about you? He motions to you, Cicero. What do you truly regret? How did you hurt someone?
I mean, those sorts of regrets, they come with time. Like, in school, I used to be the whiz kid who let people copy off his answers. Make their ride a little easier through the classes. When I got out in the real world, I was pretty well equipped for what I needed to do. But I found those people still kept coming after me, looking for handouts. A few of them even became my farmhands, because they couldn't do much on their own. I can't help but feel a bit responsible for enabling that and leading some folks to waste the time they could have better used to challenge themselves.
Do you
And they, yeah,
do you think it's your fault they went missing?
honestly, couldn't tell you. They
No.
seem like good folk. They're just a bit lost.
On that, he pauses and he says, "No, tell me."
There was a bit of a confrontation the night before. One guy in particular, Michael, went missing. He wanted a raise, and I finally put my foot down. He took it harder because I'd been so giving up until that point. I should have stood up for what I thought was important earlier on. Maybe he wouldn't have disappeared, whatever did happen to him. I guess I do regret that.
It'll feel better when you're not keeping that in. He looks at you again, Reginald, and he says, "What do you regret?"
Well, if we're all sharing, then I lost someone off the boat. Just shortly after I started taking people out here, and I wasn't able to, didn't try to rescue them.
You'll all feel better after admitting this to someone. As for me, I'm the reason my wife is dead. I didn't kill her. Couldn't fathom it. But I'm the reason. Do you ever feel that the world has a sort of cruel irony to it? As if it's always just looking for a way to put it in your face that you're wrong, or that it has the perfect punishment for you in the right time.
Sometimes I feel like it's always trying to teach you a lesson. Nothing malicious, just a force of correction.
I've watched a film. And after that, I had to give something. And I chose to give my wife. And she was given back to me in the most perfect peace I couldn't even fathom. And that's when I started to talk to Marcus. And he helped me make sense of it. And I'm just trying to do right. And understand it. What I did, what I watched. And tonight's the first step to that.
What film was that?
I'm awful with the pronunciation. Some German word. I think it's like Knockenhaus.
Not Natra? Well, we just watched one of those films.
Very similar? Yes.
I've never heard of it before, but
It's probably best if you keep it that way. You don't need another regret. You guys carry enough with yourself. But
You know, Hank, I hear you preaching that we are going to feel better after sharing all this. I can't imagine this is the first time you've opened up and shared your story. You don't look like a freed man.
oh, I'm free. Tonight, in Marcus's words, we sit on the edge of a line where we can see the unearthly hue of the world between chaos and creation. Tonight's going to be a wonderful night.
those are big words for a dinner party.
I suppose it is. He takes another drink of water.
So, are you helping Marcus with this film, or?
On that note, he says, "You'll have to excuse me. I have to go to the bathroom." And he gets up and walks away from the table.
Does he look like he's going downstairs to the one I used?
No.
Who's sitting next to me? Is anybody?
It's Julia.
Oh, yeah. No, I wouldn't say it to her, so that's fine.
But Cicero is across from you if you wanted to say it to him.
Yeah, I guess I'll lean forward to Cicero and just be like, I'm not certain he's going to the bathroom.
I frankly don't want to know. I kind of had my fill of whatever he's dishing out.
Yes.
What's rather? Sorry, I didn't realize you were listening.
I'm not sure what you're saying, but I can't agree with Cicero more.
Is there anything you guys want to do, or are you just going to continue to awkwardly eat dinner?
Where is the dining room in relation to the entrance hall?
It is through a doorway and a small little side hallway that then opens back up into the entrance hall and the room you guys were all talking in when you entered.
Is it possible to go to the bathroom that, what's your character's name again? Reginald. I don't know why that slipped my mind. Can I go in that direction and somehow wind back around to the front entranceway?
You could potentially. You don't really know the house that well. You could just try to get up, excuse yourself, and explore.
I was gonna go look for the bathroom. Reginald, I get terribly lost. Could you help me, show me around?
I did go to the bathroom earlier. I'm sure I can show you the way. And
You don't have to take me by the arm like you did earlier, but I'd appreciate a guide. This place kind of gives me the creeps for some weird reason.
He laughs awkwardly at your joke. No, I wouldn't dream of doing that to someone such as yourself. But right this way. He kind of gestures.
Am I sitting next to Ellie, or is
No, she's
she
kind
across?
of away. Yeah, she's a few away.
I'm just gonna give her the widening eyes look as I stand up and leave the table.
Elle is giving you both a nod of like permission to get the fuck out. Like she gets it, and she's just like,
Right.
Cool.
she can't join you. It's her going to the men's bathroom with two gentlemen is not gonna be a good excuse. But
Nope.
You guys weave back into the main room, the front entrance with the sitting area, and it's quiet. There's just the muted laughter and clink of cutlery coming from the room behind you.
I'm gonna try and go. I'm gonna go to the front door. I assume realizing that it's locked from the inside now.
It is locked from the inside.
Is it locked by a code?
No, it's a deadbolt key.
Oh. Yeah, that's
that's
kind
not
of
good.
why. That's why I came here. I had a bad feeling.
Yeah, this is you guys, because I think only Elle saw the lock on the door, right? So this is you guys first both seeing that there is, on this side of the door, there is a deadbolt lock as well. Looks like double-sided.
Wow.
Well, there's it doesn't appear we're going to be leaving this charming event anytime soon. Perhaps we should pursue another exit. I wouldn't want to be stuck without a way out.
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not great with small spaces.
I look like terrified towards one of the open vents, and I go, "No need to tell me twice."
Are any of the windows in this space like they're all latched as well?
They don't really, in this main room, they don't slide open.
Okay.
It's they don't really open. Yeah, they don't open in this room.
That's fair.
But the shutters are open. They're not down and locked.
Okay.
But they were before. He unlocked them. He opened the windows up essentially.
He did, yeah.
I'm gonna go over and try and like open one of the windows that maybe I could.
They don't open down here.
They don't. Oh,
Not in this
Just
room.
as-
Not in this room.
Um,
They're just rich show windows that rich people have.
Perhaps we can find another room on this floor. It's a good time under the guise of looking for the bathroom.
Elle,
all right.
back in the dining room, a few moments after Reginald and Cicero leave, Becky stands up and excuses herself from the table. She goes a different direction than they did. Miriam looks at you and says, "You seem tense."
I'm just waiting for you to ask.
Is everything okay?
Becky was the one sitting beside Miriam, right?
Yeah.
I think this is more of a private conversation, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. She leans over to Marcus and says, Elle and I just need to talk briefly. We'll be back right away. And he says, all right, sure thing.
Elle's going to pull her chair back, get up, smooth down the front of the pantsuit, and walk briskly towards the nearest door. Kind of aware she's making a scene, a little bit of a blush, but you know what, the wine is helping. Once she and Miri are alone, she's going to turn to her like a viper and hiss at her. I have no idea what is going on here, but this is... What is this about producing? What is this about needing people to be involved in a performance? Is it money, Miri? Really? Between us? After the decade we had together? Are you and Marcus just asking me for money to finance these home films? This is why you reached out to me after 4 years?
She clasps your hands in hers, and she has seen the viper's hiss and the attempt at the poison bite, but she just kind of diffuses it in a way that she tries to diffuse it in the way she always did. And she said, "This isn't about money. Elle, I asked you to come because I know you're right for this.
Right, for what? For your new interest in film? For whatever strange things are going on in this house?
For the truth that you haven't felt or spoken in years. I know we both hated it when we gave it up.
Miriam, I have a life now. A life that I have worked very hard to build, and I would have loved for you to be a part of it. But I do not think this is an appropriate conversation to have with your husband in the other room. I think if you wanted to start talking about the past and have your friends talk to me about regrets, it's 4 years too late for that, don't you think?
No. Every day is a new day for us to face what we were too scared to face before. I'm finally living free of all the fear I used to feel about everything. For why I ran and why I quit. And that's all because of what I've seen.
Miri, I am not like you. I love what it is you do. I love what it is that you can be a part of and the way that you can be a part of it, but I am living, if not all my dream, then most of it. And I'm not going to give that up to be a part of your dream. I thought we both understood that. I thought we both understood that this was what was best for both of us. At least you could have talked to me over the last 4 years, or not sprung this on me the same night I met your husband. Drinks, maybe, or I don't know, a phone call? If you want to be a part of my life again, there's so many ways to do that. But I'm not. I am who I am. I'm not you, and I can't be you, even for you.
Cicero, Reginald,
Mm-hmm.
what are you guys doing?
I think we stick together.
Yes.
And I feel like we. Is there doors on this floor worth exploring?
There could be. Do you guys want to give me listen checks?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely keeping an ear out to like not bump into anyone. We don't want to get caught snooping.
I fail.
I think I actually succeeded. Yeah, my normal with a 21.
You hear the sound of the projector running downstairs.
Don't like that.
Let's not go downstairs.
I'm going downstairs.
How about we stay up here? Yeah.
Cool. There's a variety of hallways you can go down to. There's one that seems to go down like towards like away from the living room. This would be the path that you walked, Reginald, before you went down the basement to where the guest bedroom and the bathroom was. There are the stairs going down, and then there's a door on each side and then one at the end. They're all closed. Sorry, the one at the end is kind of cracked open slightly, but dark from the other side.
I'll go for the cracked one. I just want to look, see if I can see anything in the darkness.
It is a bathroom, probably designated for guests. There's some guest towels. There is some Febreze to spray after you drop a dookie.
Nice.
There is a
I believe it's called an
frosted.
anchor here.
Gonna grab that in a lighter and make a weapon, just a flamethrower.
There is a frosted glass window. Notably, though, it has a lock on it.
Ooh. What kind of lock is it? Does it look like a key lock or?
Yeah, it looks like a key lock. Of note, there also is the mechanical shutters at the top of this window too.
Okay. I'm gonna go out and check the. Well, I want to listen at it first, but the closed door that's now to my right.
Cicero, you're staying with Reginald. You're right next to him.
Oh yeah, I'm basically keeping
Watch.
an eye out. Eye out, listening. I'm directly looking at every single hole that we pass by. I am, against my better judgment, just keeping an eye out.
Sure. There seems to be nothing from the sound of the door closest to you behind it.
Is it unlocked?
It is unlocked.
I will try and open it quietly.
It creaks open very silently, and it's dark, but you can feel a light switch on the wall.
Can I see anything in the shadows before I turn on the light?
No.
Nah, I'll turn on the light.
When you turn on the light, you are greeted by a scene that makes your stomach drop. Stacked on top of an office desk are all of the vent grates from the house, stacked neatly.
I'm gonna step into the room, pulling Cicero with me, and closing the door quietly behind us. Does the door have a lock?
It does, yes.
I will lock this door against my better judgment. How many vents are in this room?
There are 2 vents in this room.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna go over and pick up one of the vent covers and go. So they were lying to us before.
It does appear that way, yes. That looks very much not like it was taken away by someone else.
Do you think this is some kind of social experiment? Show us a scary movie and then have a bunch of holes in the house to remind us of that? See what we do?
I don't think that's No, I don't think that's what's going on at all. Can I look through the desk and the room? I'm looking for an implement I could use to put the vents back.
Sure.
I want to try and cover the holes.
Why don't you give me a search check or a spot hidden, whatever is... I don't have a character sheet in front of me. And then
Spot
Cicero, can you give me a listen check?
Maybe. No, that's a 94.
You're hard?
Yeah.
You do find a letter opener, which luckily could also double as a weapon. However, Cicero standing in the doorway misses the sound. 4 digital beeps followed by a pleasant ring. But you guys both hear the sounds of the mechanical shutters beginning to close over all of the windows in the house.
No.
In the dining room, you do not hear this, for there are no windows in the dining room. But with this, YouTube, we're going to take a small little recording break, but you're going to blink and you miss it. Once again, if you like Call of Cthulhu content, why don't you like and let us know. If you enjoy this longer form where it's all easy for you to digest in one sitting, let us know, or pace out as your own leisure, like just eating small cookies all day. Good for the health that way. not all at once. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll be back literally in a blinket and you'll miss it. So see you soon. All right, we're back. We're going to start with L. Miriam doesn't answer you. On the note of the sound of the slight beeping through the house and then the quiet sound of she just kind of like excitedly smiles and then turns. And she walks back into the dining room.
Well, I was going to stay in the hallway and cry. Because she just, like, opened her heart up and she talked to Miri and she was like, here is me offering the olive branch if you do want to reconnect. And then some fucking part of this performance started and Miri just walked away. Like, everything Elle had said had just been in her own head. So she's crying and she hates it. And she is taking off her gloves to try and staunch the tears and also have something she can get rid of so that people don't know she was crying.
All right. Then you miss what happens in the dining room.
Oh, no.
Reginald and Cicero, you guys see the shutters are sliding down and locking over the windows of the room you guys are in.
I would, I assume, futilely try and stop them by jamming whatever is closest into them.
Do you want? Oh, like yeah, you can push something in, but it kind of just like pushes it back and then just.
Yeah. Just the intention of trying to stop it more than anything.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that is definitely not good. Not good at all. No, not. Is it getting smaller in here?
You guys both swear you hear the sound of the projector running coming from the vents of this room.
I remember what I was doing and go back to covering vents.
Yeah, I'm going to put a vent cover on one of them and stand over top of it.
Sure.
I don't like this.
Carefully, as he's standing there, I'm just using the letter opener to like twist it back in.
Yeah, there are the screws here, so you guys could close the vents in this room with that letter opener, and you guys could lock them off. And as far as you guys can tell, you are safe in this locked room from the vent monster.
From the vent monster, that's very scary.
Once we got the screws on, like I can move around without having to weigh this thing down. I'm gonna start tearing this room apart, like looking for a hidden vent. Like I don't trust that first glance we know the ventilation system of this strange house. So I'm like looking under the bed, looking like pulling
sure
furniture away from the wall. Yeah.
Nah, you've gotten all the vents in this room.
Okay.
As you're tearing things apart, Reginald is just now pacing and running his hands over his tattoos. Like he is not happy being in this enclosed room. It's a big struggle for him to decide whether he should stay here or leave.
Yeah, we're just freaking out. Like we're not even talking. We're just individually stuck in our own panic.
We're strangers, basically. Like we're having a moment.
Do you guys want to give me a spot hidden check?
Love to.
You can do it at advantage because you guys are pretty focused in this room.
Oh, that's a 1.
Oh,
so
baby!
That's my hard. Oh, that's my extreme. Yeah, that's my extreme.
You guys notice that in the top corner of this room there is a security camera pointing and filming. Very small. Only just now have you noticed it. It's red light blinking.
They're watching us. This is the film.
I'm gonna start throwing vent covers at the camera, trying to break it.
Give me a throw check.
Oh, I just want to pull the
A,
desk over.
a throw or a brawl or
I think there might be a throw.
Throw, yeah. 20%
Where is it?
chance. It's under T.
T. How do you language?
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
see.
it's your education.
I don't see a throw on my sheet. Weird.
It's okay. It's 20% chance if you don't have any.
Yeah, probably don't. That's a 3.
You nail it on the first throw. You hit it right into the camera and it snaps off the roof.
Just gonna go and like smash it on my foot. I am not having a good time now. Oh. Is this normal? Is this what people in the city do? I mean,
I mean, I don't spend a lot of time dealing with tourists, really, but this is not my cup of tea either.
I'd hope not. I really wouldn't want to be stuck in a room with you if this was your cup of tea.
Oh, please
be
do not
honest.
talk about the fact that we are stuck in a room.
Sorry. Let's think about it. If we're not stuck in a room, they're stuck out of the room. They can't get in here. We're safe.
Stop talking about being stuck anywhere. That's not helping the situation at all. All right. Can I start looking through like the desk and stuff for like information about this film? Maybe they've got documentation.
Oh, you mean my keeper notes is what you're looking for.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Justin.
We'll see what happens, but first we're gonna go to L.
What happened in the dining room?
Elle is pulling herself together. She is literally so fucking done with this that she is putting the incredibly damp gloves. She's tucking them in, and she is going out into the dining room. She is done.
The dining room is empty.
Miri, Marcus, I'm not playing your games. And Elle is going to... Yeah, Elle has like no navigation and has not been paying attention. She's gonna walk in a direction. She's heading to the front door. She knows it's probably locked, but she is...
Sure, what's your
This is it.
navigation? Give me a test, please.
You know, my 10% navigation.
Mm,
Nailed it with an 81.
Oh.
Luckily, though, this house is still like relatively, it's a maze, but you are able to, it's like just a little crook around the way. You know enough to get there. You saw the way that Cicero and Reginald went. The shutters have been closed over the windows. The vents are all open in this room, and this room stands empty, apart from the sound of hushed conversation and the projector running from the basement downstairs.
Well, I'm going to go around that corner and head towards the front entryway. I mean, it's the same direction heading downstairs as
Yeah.
well as... Yeah, so...
You get to the front entrance, you try and pull the handle, and it is locked, as you thought.
I am heading towards the stairwell and heading down if the door is open.
It is open.
And I am calling out to Miri. And I am saying, Miri, this is not funny anymore. I know the door is locked. I'm not part of whatever performance you've decided to put together this evening.
As you are coming down the steps, there is a scream of 5 voices of pure fright and dread coming from the basement.
I'm going to give myself a power roll.
Sure.
What are the chances we also hear this?
You're too far away.
I succeed. Okay, I am neither going down nor going back up. I am staying there on the stairwell, frozen in terror. Not sure what to do. I'm not going to play any games, but that sounded very real.
The screams continue, and then you hear the sounds of heavy footsteps as Hank is making his way up the stairs.
I'm going to turn around and start leaving.
As you turn, you feel him reach out for your wrist. Would you like to make a dodge?
Yes, I would.
Did Eric follow my advice?
Eric has a 50 dodge.
That's better than most people put in their dodge.
I thought as a dancer it would make sense for her to be good at it.
Unfortunately,
She got a
he got
48.
an extreme, so you'll have to get an extreme.
Nope.
He grabs your wrist and wrenches you down the stairs. You collapse and tumble over yourself, taking 1 point of damage. You land in the theater room, and projected on the screen is footage of the theater room, of the wall being projected on. And in the footage, in real life, something is pushing through that wall and the projector screen and falling onto the floor behind the fabric. All you can see are 2 sets of bony fingers stretching out and gripping as it is being called through. Hank continues up the stairs, looking for the 2 people who aren't here for the movie. Lacey cries out, "What is happening? What are you doing?" as they all begin to panic and unravel and stand in retreat. But Miriam, Marcus, and Becky are watching in anticipation.
Okay, where is the projector?
If you have landed here, the projector is this way.
I would like to go to the projector. And I would like to push it over down the stairs towards the...
Like the floor of the landing where the seats go, the tiered seats?
Yeah, I'm pushing it towards the stage.
Sure.
Like where it's being projected, like because I've heard these things are super flammable, and Elle just doesn't know what it takes to light one on fire, but she is pushing it over to at least stop it.
Sure, as you push it over, the film actually mimics what you're doing. And then as you get closer, the bulge continues to grow until, as you get about 6 feet away, it stops and the bony crack of something landing on the floor on the other side echoes out. The footage then cuts to black and only reads the words Natra. It's here you notice that in the corners of the room, in the darkness, there is a blinking red light, as if a bunch of security cameras are filming. Reginald and Cicero, what would you guys like to do? You said the door is locked, but they're locked out there. We're not locked in here.
I'm still looking through for papers or information about what crazy film these guys are trying to make.
Sure. Why don't you give me a spot hidden check?
Would love to try. That is a 5. That is my extreme.
You find a small key that looks like it opens a door.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
A loud bang echoes through the room from the door as someone is slamming themselves against it to open it.
I will show Cicero the key. What do you think this could possibly go to. I haven't seen anything.
There was the lock on the window and the door next to us. There's also the front door. I mean, those are the only ones I've seen.
Yes. And I'll pocket it.
Something big is about to come through that door. How are we gonna get out of this room?
I think perhaps we should. What if we open the door on one of the runs and then let whatever it is come in and perhaps lock them in here? Do you think
I
that's...
don't know if we can lock them in, but if you're right, if we get them at the right momentum, they'll sail right through, and we can slip out if we're quick about it. At least getting past them.
And if we need time, we can. I can hold the door.
You sure you want to do that for me? You don't know me. I don't know you. I kind of want to see us both out of here, if that's okay.
I do, but I don't know who's on the other side of that door, or how long it'll take us to try this key in at least 2 different spots.
On that note, you hear Hank yell, "Open up the door!"
I will go to the door and kind of just like wait for him to like.
He is going like a steady run-in, so your plan does have
merit.
So we'll wait on either side of the door, giving ourselves, or I guess the same side of the door, so we can slip through immediately without getting caught on the angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which side of the door are you on? Because it says, so it's an in swing, so one will push you up against the wall, one will not push you up against the wall. So it'll trap you behind the door on one side, not on the other. The only thing is it'll be awkward to open on not that side.
Yeah, no, I think I'm going to stand facing the door and with my left hand, that makes sense. Just swing it as hard as I can, step out of the way, and then go for it.
Yeah,
Following
you don't have to open the door fully for him. You just have to unlatch it.
Yeah,
so that he's going to sail through.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You wait for the timing. You unlatch the door, and Hank comes bursting through. He keeps going and runs himself into the desk, surprised by the momentum. What do you guys want to do? He looks like he can right himself up pretty quickly, so you'll need to act and do something quickly. Like I said, the guy's big and surprisingly agile and fit.
I want to try and close the door behind us and hold it.
Sure.
I'm going to grab the key from you if you let me.
Yeah. Go for it.
All right,
And
why
I'm
don't you
gonna
give me an
head to the
imposing strength
bathroom.
check?
Am I a strong enough boy? That's the question.
Let's find out.
I got a 10.
Yeah, you're actually able to hold it. Like, he's pulling, but you're just able to, really just keep it closed. You're slowing him down. You hear screams coming from the basement downstairs.
Oh, no.
I go to the door, the bathroom, and see if I can unlock the window.
But you could change this before you go in, but you did see the shutters go over the lock completely.
Right.
Yeah,
So then knowing that, or realizing that, I'm just gonna take off down the hallway, and I'm gonna yell back, "Won't take me long to unlock the door, so you better come on, quick."
In response to that, through muffled kind of grunts of exertion and holding the door shut against this other human, just like, but there are people downstairs. We check that it works, and then maybe we can help.
I just keep running.
Cicero, when you get to the front door, the key does not fit in this deadbolt.
Shit. Try to think other locks. Where else?
There is one door in the hallway you guys did not check.
Crap.
Did it work, Cicero?
Can I get another strength check, please, Reginald?
Can we?
Oh, shit.
I passed, but I didn't roll great.
What'd
I
you
passed
get?
my regular with a 68.
The door wrenches open. As it slips, the knob slips through your fingers, and Hank has bloodlust in his eyes.
Oh, fuck.
He reaches out with his big hand and goes to grab you. Would you like to attempt a dodge or a brawl?
They both suck.
Oh no, that's mistake number one.
I'm gonna try to dodge because my next move is just gonna be to try and intimidate him into convincing him he doesn't want to mess with me.
Sure.
But I gotta escape first. Oh, I rolled an 18. That's excellent.
You are able to dodge away from his hand as he was reaching out for you. Cicero, you're able to look down the hall and see that Hank has gotten out. Is there anything you want to do in this moment before I jump down to L?
How many doors leading down this hallway up until the ones at the end? Are there any?
So you're at the end over here. There is first on your right are some steps going down into the basement where the bathroom and the guest room was. On your left is the office you went in. On your right, there is one more door, and then at the end, there is the bathroom. So both Hank and Reginald are in the way to the door you have not checked.
I know. And if I wanted to go downstairs, I know how to get there?
That is a separate area than the projector room.
It's different. Okay, so I've never been there.
Correct.
Okay. I'm just gonna go towards like Hank in the doorway, and realizing like the struggle, the like defensive nature, I'm gonna go back Reginald up and start swinging.
Oh, look at this!
I'm gonna start punching the hell out of Hank.
Wait, before you hit him, can I try and I want to just try and like, you do not want to mess with us,
Sure, you
Hank.
can make an intimidation. At this 6'6" man towering over you.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
I'm
You
not bulky.
This military veteran.
No, that is a 91, and I do not sound intimidating enough at
Yeah,
all.
you kind of squeak in the middle as he's towering over you. L,
Hank, young man.
you see it. The figure is white and fleshy with no face, but long fingers, long limbs, as it kind of just begins to crack into place and crawl around the ground, moving towards an empty vent hole in the wall. Everyone in the room is screaming. Some people are beginning to run up the stairs.
Oh my god, I'm doing another power roll. Just for me. Oh no, why do I do something stupid? Elle is going to... So, the projector, it's... Did I push it over? Did I even get to it?
You didn't push it over, no.
Okay. Oh, but it's still like 6 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm also going for the door, and I'm going for the stairs.
Sure.
Are Miriam, Becky, and Marcus still there?
Yes, Becky has stood up and is actually moving towards the creature that's crawling on the ground.
And what's Miri and Marcus doing?
They're watching. They're waiting to see what happens.
How much stronger does Marcus look than me?
He's fit, but not like exceptionally fit. You could try fighting him.
I'm gonna stop in the doorway, eyes riveted by this horror that is happening, thinking thoughts to the fact that Becky looks so much like the woman in the film. But I can't leave yet because I need to know too, and I need to know that Miri is going to do something. I need to know that she's not a part of this, whatever this is.
So you're just going to wait and watch?
Yeah, but right at the door, so I can book
Yeah.
it up the stairs if I need to.
You take 3 points of sanity damage as you watch the creature contort itself and crack and break and pop as it pulls itself into the open ventilation shaft on the floor. Becky lets out a disdained moan as she sees the creature go away. At that point, Marcus says, Becky, all you gotta do is find him. And Becky lets out a gleeful giggle and then moves to go upstairs, but she sees you in the way. And when she sees you, she says, can I go by? It's time for my scene.
I'm going to slap her.
Oh, fuck.
Brawl, right? Fuck, I'm
Yep,
so bad
that'd
at
be a brawl.
It's time to decky Becky.
I definitely did not succeed.
Yeah, she kind of just like steps back. And then on that, she gets angry. And she tries to tackle you into the stairs. You can give me a dodge or a brawl to fight or avoid it.
Dodge. 19.
You are able to sidestep and she just collapses into the stairs. When she sees that happen, she then just takes the opportunity to run up. If you don't try to stop her, she just goes.
Oh, I'm going to try and stop her, and I'm going to scream at Miri, what is wrong with you?
Sure, you can give me a brawl to try to grab her.
Bad at brawl. I have a 1 in build. Does that help me at all?
A 1 in what?
I have a build of 1. Does that help me at all?
I think that just helps you for damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Failed again. 55.
Becky is able to make it upstairs. On this, Miriam stands and says, you asked what is wrong with you? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
She says, Elle, there's nothing wrong with this. We have found a true creator.
Elle's going after Becky. Elle can't even deal with this madness coming from the woman that she has loved for so long.
Cicero, you take a swing at Hank as the sounds of the screaming and people running up the stairs come up behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a brawl. As he's going to try to... Oh my god.
It's a normal.
When you reach to punch him, he grabs you by the face and slams you head first, the back of your head against the wall.
Oof.
You take 2 points of damage and immediately feel like dizzy as you collapse to the floor from the blow to the back of your head. Reginald, this dude's strong.
No kidding. I thought I was a strong boy. I'm gonna...
The key went clattering from my hand and is
I
in the
love
floor.
you, Cicero. You're a lovely character, but I don't know you or have close enough relations to you to protect you from this crazy man. So I'm gonna go after the key and then try and book it out of there. I'm gonna go try and find out what this key does. Actually, no, wait. The door that he hadn't tried was on the other side of us.
Yeah.
Right
But
there.
you didn't tell me the front door didn't work.
I'm back here, so you can.
Yeah, you
guess
could make an
and work.
intelligence.
Like,
So we're gonna get 2 things. Cicero, can I get a luck check? And Reginald, can I get an intelligence check?
I fail my intelligence check.
I succeed my luck check.
All right, Reginald, you do not know the front door is locked. Cicero, the key did go further down the hallway away from the front door, towards the door you were going for.
Okay.
Also, it does not look like Hank noticed the key dropped.
Okay.
Reginald, the key went the other way, not towards the front door. What would you like to do? Hank is like looking to close in on you next.
I'm... No, I'm still gonna go after the key.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you give me a dodge?
Yeah. No, I probably
Oh.
can't, but I'm gonna try. A 19.
You do.
did it.
Hank grabs for you, but you duck under, and you're able to pick up the key and move down to the hall. Hank has his focus split between the other partiers coming up the stairs and going towards the front door, screaming that it's closed, it's locked, yelling what the hell is going on, and you with the keys. Can you give me a luck check as well? See if you were able to even hide it.
Yeah, I passed my luck. 37.
Yeah, he does not. He doesn't seem to know you have the key. He's still just kind of just blood red, focused on you, but also now he's split between the people at the door. And Cicero is just woozy on the ground. As far as Hank's concerned, Cicero's done.
Taken care of. Yeah. I'm not a fighter. I don't have any skills in fight. I'm gonna try and hit him, I guess.
You're gonna use the letter opener?
Yeah. Still a fighting brawl though, right?
Yeah.
It's only for damage. Oh my god, I rolled a 4. That beats my extreme.
Dude, he rolled a 12. Good job.
Oh, nice.
You sink. Where are you aiming with the letter opener?
His neck, definitely.
You sink the letter opener into the man's neck. Can you give me a 1d4 plus 1 damage roll, please?
Yes. 4 plus 8 damage.
A 1d4 plus 1?
Oh, sorry, plus 1, then 5.
Okay, thank you. I was going to
Sorry.
say, oh my
I thought you said
what magic d4
that's my
is
damage
this?
bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it should be your damage bonus too. Yeah.
So then
eight,
it's
8 damage. You just sink it into his neck, and he lets out a horrible groaning, fluidy sound as he collapses into the wall and onto the floor.
Just stand up. I am in shock. And I'm just gonna be in shock for a little while. I just theoretically killed a man.
Cicero, what do you want to do? You're a bit dizzy, but you are still conscious.
I'm gonna roll a power check of sorts.
Yeah,
I just get up and I just go over to his body and I go, "Don't think I'm crazy." And I'm just gonna drag his arm and lean his arm into one of the vents.
Yeah, he's just kind of rolling back and he's kind of was knocked down by that, but he still seems to be conscious.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna start punching him in the face, trying to finish him off then if he's still alive.
Oh, you love to see it. Give me some brawl.
That's an 8. Wow.
Nice. Reginald, can you also give me a sanity check because you stabbed a dude in the neck?
We need a sanity check right about now.
And Cicero, can you give me a power check, please?
Yes.
How'd you do?
I just barely passed mine.
All right, you'll take 1
good.
point of sanity damage.
Cool.
I'm good. I got a 2 again.
You
I don't know
are
what's up.
able to react with a sense of calm here when you see on the floor next to you and the man, as you get one punch in, some white fingers reaching out from the vent and a fleshy, faceless head begin to push itself through.
Okay. Go punching Hank, I guess.
You're like, yeah, you want to stay next to the vent man?
Maybe as my brawl, I'm offering Hank
Yeah,
to
you
whatever
do. You got one punch in, so you did get a good punch on his face. Could have probably broken his nose. But as you're raising up your fist to go again, you see this thing start to push its way out of the vent.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep Hank between me and that.
Sure. Elle, you chase Becky up the stairs where she screams because she sees Hank, and you see Hank on the floor with Cicero punching his face. Becky is then running towards Cicero.
What is nearby?
Nothing. It's just an open entryway. There's the few people who are now kind of splitting and exploring various areas of the house.
I'm gonna yell at them to grab some furniture and break down the fucking door. And I am still sprinting after Becky for all my life's worth. And I'm trying to tackle her down to the ground and get her away from the vents.
Sure. Give me a brawl. Ooh, good roll, Becky.
No. Roll badly, Becky. Oh, I failed again.
All right, Becky is able to get through, and she jumps at Cicero. Cicero, do you want to give me a dodge or a brawl to fight her off?
Sure, I'll give a dodge, trying to let her deflect off me. I get my normal with a
Nice.
31.
Nice. You are able to, as she comes at you, you just kind of like bring your shoulder down, and she just rolls over you. She screams out, "Don't ruin this. Don't ruin this," as she then begins to try to scramble to her feet. Reginald, what do you do?
Did it open the door? The front door? Is it open?
No.
I'm just gonna like turn kind of quickly in place, like the office, the bathroom, try the next door, and I'm gonna work my way around this house.
As you turn the handle of this next door, the door is locked.
I'm gonna try the key.
It does fit in the door and opens it.
I am opening this door. I don't even care what's on the other side.
As you step
I do.
inside, this room is lit only by about 4 computer monitors, each with different security footage, black on them, all recording. Notably, one of the many images, there's about probably 32 in total, 32 feeds, is just static electricity. Just a dead image.
Yeah.
However, in this room, there is also a window that is not shuttered.
Amazing. Does it open, first off?
It can open.
I am going to try and open said window.
Sure, give me a strength check.
Oh, I'm a strong boy, maybe. I'm a very strong boy. That's a 17. It beats my hard, but not my extreme.
Yeah, you're able to start pulling open the window. It does start opening. L. Lacey comes and stands next to you and says, "What's going on?"
Can I see down the hallway to that open window?
No, because it opens into another door on the side.
Hey. Elle, who is not aware of the fact that she is crying and freaking out, just says, the girl that Miri and Marcus have been, I don't know, drugging or something. She's trying to crawl into one of the vents, or that thing is going to kill her, just like the movie. We have to stop her.
A sound rings out, and Lacey's eyes change as the echo of a gunshot rings through the house. And Lacey collapses onto the ground. She was just shot in the side. It wasn't shooting to kill, but rather shooting as to not ruin the film. As Marcus stands with Miriam holding on to him at the top of the stairs. Cicero and Reginald, you guys also hear this gunshot.
Elle drops to her knees and starts rapidly trying to, I guess I'll do a first aid check, but she doesn't really know what to do. She's going to try and stop the bleeding.
Cicero,
wow.
sorry, what did you get?
Fail hard.
You're just kind of through the tears in your eyes, you're not really able to figure out exactly what to do. Cicero, you notice that the creature actually retreats back into the vent right now. It's not happy with where it's coming out currently.
Okay. Do I feel like Hank is out of this conflict, or do I need to hit him a few more times to feel comfortable?
Why don't you give me a first aid check?
Okay. Oh, I'm actually pretty good at that. Oh, not with a 93, I'm not.
He seems to be out for the count.
Okay. So I'm gonna. Where's Becky going?
Becky is between you and the room Reginald went into. And she's starting to
Okay.
right herself up to come at you again.
I'm gonna come at her. I'm gonna try and push her into that side room, the one that Reginald's in.
Sure. Give me a brawl. Ooh, she rolled badly.
I rolled another 1, and I'm
Yeah.
changing dice too.
You're
What
actually
is
able to
this?
just like grab her and force her into the room.
Cool.
You see Reginald is starting to pull open a window. But also there was that gunshot sound that kind of froze Reginald in place for a second.
Cool. Yeah, I just want to keep her in this room right now. Not
So
sure what comes
Reginald
next.
Cicero comes in with kind of like Becky in a headlock. She's just scratching, yelling at him to not ruin this.
What are you doing?
I don't really know. I mean, she doesn't seem right now.
Look, I've got this window open. You should go out. I'll get everyone else out. I'll let them know.
Should I take her with me? I really don't know what to do at this point.
I mean, if you think she didn't seem. Yes, everybody should leave. Everyone
She
should go.
screams that she doesn't want to go. You're ruining her moment. She wants to be in this movie. She has to be in this movie.
You could be in another one, and I'm just gonna jump out the window with her.
The window is small enough that you'll have to crawl through, so you would need to force her through if you wanted to get her out.
Yeah, I'm gonna push her through.
All right,
this
give me another
window.
brawl.
Okay. My
Reginald,
luck's
you
gonna
need to
run out
help.
eventually. Yeah, that's a 50, so my normal.
You actually do get her out of the window. However, you feel bony fingers wrap around your ankle on the floor.
Reginald.
Can I, seeing that, try and stomp on the hand, I guess?
Sure. Go
I'm
for
not
it.
gonna be good at this, but we're gonna try. Ah, that's a big old fat fail.
You do stomp down, but you notice that as you step on the hands, it doesn't really give. Whatever this thing is, it's not like a human. It actually just like you're stomping on a brick, hard, just solid. However, the hand does let go. And it just wrenches itself back, cracking into the vent.
All right, go, 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 go! I'll go get the others.
Okay. I'll do what I can.
Keep Becky outside. Imagine she'll try and come back in.
I hope this door doesn't unlock from the outside.
Oh, wouldn't that be a twist? Coming on in. So Cicero, are you climbing out the window?
Yeah, I'm
All
climbing
right.
out the window.
You land on the cold, wet grass outside. Well, you actually also land on Becky, who's screaming to get back in. But you're able to quickly just, like, pacify her with, like, another headlock.
Yeah.
Right out the window.
Elle, what do you do?
I'm gonna try and pick up Lacey.
Vanessa's also there trying to help you with Lacey. And she's, like, yelling at... She's yelling at Miri, saying, "What are you doing? What are you fucking doing? You've gone crazy." But she's also, like, breaking down. A lot of the other party guests, they don't have the mental fortitude that player characters do. And their world is crumbling around them.
I'm telling Vanessa, don't make them angry. Don't talk to them. Let them go. Let them play their sick fucking game. Just help me get Lacey out of here.
On that, Marcus says, "There's no way out of here. The film's gonna happen, and you're all gonna be in it. We're making the 6th movement tonight."
Can I come back into the hallway at that?
As you do, as you step out of the room, Hank has found himself to his feet again.
Hank.
Blood is pouring out of his neck. His nose is broken, but he is more frenzied than he was before. In the other room, you guys hear a cry, a scream, as someone is dragged to the floor, and then silence.
Don't like it. As I exit the room, I'm just gonna like not a shout, but like a normal volume, so that I'm not exactly projecting to people who are not within the hallway. But there's a window. You can get out through here. I'll just say to Miriam, or not Miriam. Well, I guess Lacey's unconscious.
Yeah,
The group
yeah.
with the unconscious
The
person.
group's still in the front entrance.
Yeah.
What do you do about your good friend Hank?
I will try and hit him in the face, I guess. Actually, I just want to try and, for thematically, I just want to rip the letter opener out of his neck.
Oh, so sick.
But I don't think I'm going to be able to do that.
Go for it.
No, I rolled a 68. I fail.
He, however, cannot counterattack. You kind of just fumble awkwardly against each other. As he
Nice.
kind of just like goes and but he can't get like a good grip on you because he's a bit too woozy. Elle, what do you want to do?
They're still standing in the stairway, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
And Marcus has a gun.
It's America.
And I don't know about the security tapes or anything like that.
No, you do not know about... you actually heard Reginald say that there's an exit back here.
Oh god, which means Marcus heard that as well, right?
Yeah.
The moment I realize that, I am up and moving and trying to body Marcus down the stairs.
Sure.
He is as dangerous, the fucking thing in the vents right now, as far as I'm concerned, especially when he's like, there's no exit, and Reginald's like, there's an exit.
First things first, give me a luck check to see if he gets off before you get him.
Oh, fuck. Holy shit. I rolled 2 ones.
Oh, that's great. Reminder, if you ever get lucky, you have to remove a point in your luck. And if you're ever unlucky, you add a point.
I've been doing that, yeah.
Cool.
I like that rule.
Removed.
You are able to close in. He does get a shot off, but you kind of just spook him and he just kind of goes a bit wide. Now you can attempt to tackle him down the stairs.
Wish I had taken Brawl.
No.
The grace of a dancer.
I'm so strong and I'm so bad at fighting.
In stage combat, I have a 60.
Yeah. If you want to actually not hit each other, we can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
what did
would
you
be
get?
willing to tumble down the stairs. No, my brawl was 25 and I got like a 56.
You kind of just run into him, but you aren't able to tackle him down the stairs. Vanessa seems to be helping Lacey up. Cicero, what do you want to do? You're outside, you have Becky in a headlock.
Yeah.
You know that soon, eventually, she might pass out. You've seen it in movies.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to keep the pressure on trying to do that. I want her non-autonomous right now. What's the surrounding landscape like? Could I go to the forest to get some cover, or if I don't want to be in line of sight of that window, would it be better to press up against the house?
Up against the house is probably the best way to go. It's like probably like a 4 to 5 foot drop, so they can't look down and they'll have to stick their head out, and it's still kind of awkward to do that.
Yeah, I'm basically gonna like keeping her tightly gripped. I'm basically gonna slump back against the wall and just like tired and still woozy from the hit from Hank, just sink down into the grass of the ground and just like close my eyes and like shake the head as like I'm like putting her off to sleep right now.
Yeah. Do you want to give me a strength check?
Sure. Okay. Strength, that is a 55, so normal.
Eventually, Becky does just kind of stop. she passes out from the force that you're exerting on her. She'll be gone for probably 60 seconds. Otherwise, she's dead.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna lighten my grip to
Yeah.
not kill her. Yeah.
Reginald, what do you got? You see at this opposite side that L moves in, hits Marcus. His shot goes wide, but he doesn't. Nothing else seems to happen with that. Hank is still in the way. You kind of backed up after trying to grab it, but he kind of just pushed you back.
I think I just want to try and push him, like
Sure.
try and get him knocked over.
Hank's woozy.
Yeah, but I am not a fighter. Just no! So close. 6s and 9s. No, it was a 29. I don't pass.
Ooh, 29. You push him back, and then he goes back, but then he takes a heavy swing at you. You can attempt to dodge or brawl.
Try and dodge it. No, I fail.
You get clobbered right in the side of the face by a big, heavy haymaker from Hank. You're going to take 5 points of damage.
Oh, this guy is strong.
Not quite a major wound, but ouch.
And you collapse down to the ground.
Checks out.
Hank then turns and begins to move down the hallway towards you, Elle. You hear the heavy sound of footsteps come from behind you. What would you like to do?
How fast is
you
he
also
coming?
hear Vanessa scream.
How fast is he coming?
Moderately fast. He's a little bit woozy as he walks, but he's very frightening to see in this shape.
I mean, not to pull the same trick on Hank as the last group did, but my best bet is to wait till he approaches and then get out of his way so that he can be the one who goes after Marcus, because I don't think I'm going to win this fight.
Sure. If you wait, he just stops in front of you. And then he goes to grab you by the hair. Would you like to dodge?
I'm going to try and dodge.
Oh, fuck.
16.
He rolled a 3.
Fuck.
He grabs you and throws you down to the floor.
Elle cries out like the sound of someone's lungs getting kicked out from them and goes down and curls up slightly, just waiting for the next hit.
You hear Marcus ask Hank, "Are you okay?" And Hank says, "No." Hank asks Miriam to get a first aid kit for Hank. And then that we need to find where it is. We need to get it on camera. And then Marcus says he's going to go lock the window in the office. And he begins to go down the hallway. Vanessa screams and retreats, bringing Lacey back against the door, who is still just in pain and bleeding out. And Miriam steps away as Hank puts a foot on your back to kind of just hold you down, Elle. You guys hear the sounds of footsteps and searching elsewhere in the house as if two people are still trying to find a way out. Reginald, you begin to come to get some sense back into you from the wooziness as Marcus with a gun is making his way past you in the hallway.
Can I reach out and try and grab one of his ankles to trip him up?
Yeah, go for it. This can be an advantage because he does not know you're awake.
It's not a great one. 6! I rolled exactly the same number twice.
Man.
61, and it fails.
As you attempt to grab his ankle, he kind of just just steps over and then turns and points the gun at you. And he's like, "You're still alive." And then he motions down the hallway.
I'll like roll over on my elbows and kind of stand up slowly, like that very hunched over in pain back. And if I'm allowed, I want to try and elbow him backwards before I leave.
You can try. Give me a luck check first.
You just want to like just hit him before you walk away.
Yeah, I just want to put a shot in before I go. Yeah, no, I'm not lucky.
A shot rings off.
Yeah.
You get shot in the back of your thigh, kind of in the hamstring area.
How many points of damage is that one? Because that feels like a lot.
You'll take 3 points of damage,
Not as much as I thought.
and you'll collapse to the floor.
Yep, I sure will.
I'm hearing me in someone's microphone.
It's probably me.
Sure.
Hang on.
Yeah, so then Reginald, you're a bit out of it again, and he just turns and continues to move back towards the office. Elle, is there anything you want to do? You hear another gunshot ring out, followed by Vanessa screaming at the sound of it.
I want to look up at Hank from a position of complete weakness, and I want to say to Hank, very quietly and in a great deal of pain, "Is this how you killed her too? Did you hold her down until the thing came and took her away?" And I'm trying a persuasion to get Hank to fucking snap out of it. This is his regret.
He looks down at you, and he says, "No, I left her in that apartment room. My regret is I never saw how it was done."
Oh, gods. Elle is so stupid and so angry. She's gonna try and fight him again.
Sure.
I assume disadvantage because I'm literally under his foot.
No. Because he's woozy as shit. Alright, that's moderate for him.
She fails.
Yeah, you
She
just
always
struggle. He
fails.
just pushes down more, and you feel the wind begin to leave your body. Cicero! Becky
Yep.
wakes up. But she's
Okay.
kind of woozy, and she's out of it. She's not really, like, there.
I mean, the moment she starts to fight, I'll just tighten my grip again, trying to knock her out again. This is not good for brain function.
No. No, but what else can you do? What else can you do, right?
Yeah.
She quiets again, and you hear the sound of the window sliding shut above you.
Okay. I'm gonna... Like, she was out for like 60 seconds last time, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait 10 seconds
Yeah.
after the window shuts, and then I'm gonna pick her up and just carry her to my car, I think. Like,
Cool.
whatever I came here at.
You did drive your own car. You were one of the 5 I
Yeah.
included at the beginning.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go load her in my car. What kind of car would I have? I probably have like
Definitely
a
a truck.
It's definitely
Yeah.
a red truck.
I have a truck. What would I do? I feel like I've got like a toolkit in the back. I'll get some rope and tie her up. I'll like
Nice.
start doing that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's what I'm doing.
Reginald, you're in intense pain on the ground.
I am going to... I'm going to crawl into the office and close the door and lock it
Okay.
and hope I don't bleed out.
L.
Yeah.
Marcus comes back, and he looks at Miriam and Hank, and he says, "I think it went wrong. I don't hear it. I don't feel it. Where's Becky? Did it get Becky?"
Fuck you. Fuck your film. She's barely breathing that out.
Marcus looks down at that, and then he says, I'll go run the first one again. And he moves back down into the basement. As Miriam is patching up Hank, she looks at you, Elle, and she says, Why couldn't you just help us do this?
I don't know who the fuck you are, but you are not Miriam. And whoever you are, you can go to hell. I hope that thing fucking takes you too.
You never understood art. That's why you ran from it.
I chose real life.
This is the most real life I've ever seen in Red Hall. There are things that you can't even begin to understand in this city. This is just one of it.
Elle's still under the foot, right?
Yep.
She's just trying to catch her breath now. She's very spent in this fight.
Vanessa's screams have turned into low sobs as Lacey has bled out by the front door. And there's still the sounds of two people moving through the house.
The only thing that I see here is a woman who couldn't accept that she wasn't good enough for what she wanted. And now she is hurting everyone who ever cared about her to live out some sick fantasy. That is the real thing that I see.
Miri shakes her head. I'm sorry you feel that way. I did this out of love for you, Elle. I wanted you to feel like I do. Cicero.
Yep.
Becky's all tied up. What do you want to do next?
Throw her in the back seat of my car, and I'm sitting there in the driver's seat contemplating something. We'll see what I do next.
Fucking leave.
That didn't work. I gotta
Fucking
roll that one.
leave.
Yeah,
I want this to be-
I drive away.
All right, Cicero, you have survived.
I want this
Yeah.
to be the first group of characters where they all just bail and nobody's a hero.
I was gonna crash the truck into the entry hall, like try and make a window for you guys,
Yeah.
but I'm too
Brutal.
chicken.
Yeah.
Reginald, you are just in the room.
I want to wait and listen for Marcus's footsteps to
He
leave.
has already passed.
Okay. Then I'm going to unlock the door, and I want to try and crawl back into the one with the window without
Sure.
being noticed.
Sure. We can give you a bit more time, too, as Marcus eventually comes upstairs. He looks at Eleanor and Vanessa and says, we should bring them and make them watch. We need to find Becky. The sound of the footsteps upstairs stop at a certain point. And Cicero, as you were pulling away from the house, you see both Dean and Julia running from an upstairs window down the side of the house, jumping through into the bushes down below. When they see you pulling out, they both wave their hands for them to jump into the back of your truck.
If I can, yeah, I can do that. I'll slow down for him.
They hop in, and they both just kind of collapse onto the truck bed at the back of the truck.
Yeah. I'm gonna linger there for half a second, like looking back for anyone else that's coming, and then shake my head and keep driving.
Yeah, Dean even looks up and he says, it was just us. Toby's gone. It got Toby.
Okay. We'll get the hell out of here now. And I just floor it. I mean, driving safely, but floor it.
Yeah, flooring it safely down the way. Unfortunately, Eric didn't kill that deer.
No! Drive auto
The deer
check.
just leaps straight into the car.
Drive auto check 99. Oh, we're all dead.
Do you know what
Out of
happens
the
to someone in a
out
truck
of the-
bed when it flips over? It's not good, I'll tell you that much.
It's just like out of the exhaust pipe, the hand just reaches and pulls us all in.
Yeah.
Or the deer just opens its mouth and it comes out.
No.
L.
Yeah.
Marcus tries to bring both you and Vanessa downstairs to the theater room by gunpoint. Do you fight or do you go?
I'm actually going to try and persuade Marcus to let Vanessa and Lacey go. Whatever the fuck they're planning.
Sure.
Lacey is too injured. She's useless.
Lacey's dead.
Very
It's Vanessa who's still alive.
Do I know that?
Yes, because Vanessa's been crying over her body.
Yeah, I'm gonna say let Vanessa go. Like, she doesn't mean anything to you. She doesn't mean anything to Miri. You've killed Lacey. Like, just let her go. Like, you've done all the damage you can do. She's not part of this anymore. Like, just let her go.
Sure, give me a persuasion.
Oh, Marcus, please prove to be more reasonable than somebody who shoots people for your dinner parties. I do pass, 41 out of 60.
He looks at Hank, and then he looks at Miriam, and he turns and shoots Vanessa. He can't let her go. What's she gonna say?
Does Elle have to do a sanity check to watch two of her friends die?
Yes, please. That would be fantastic. Reginald, you hear another gunshot ring out from the main lobby. They are still upstairs.
Well, 98.
Ooh, you'll take 4 points of sanity damage on that, because now you feel like your biggest regret is getting Vanessa killed.
I have now taken 5 total points of sanity damage, in case that affects the rules at all.
I do not play with temporary sanity or wounds in a one-shot, so no worries. They then lead you downstairs, assuming you don't fight it.
Crying, sobbing, begging Miri to stop this. Not fighting it.
Reginald, eventually you hear silence and you're able to crawl your way over to the other room.
Sweet. I'm going to try and open the window again.
It does open again.
I am going to climb out.
Yeah, you land. It hurts when you land and you take 1 more point of damage. Hopefully that doesn't knock you out.
It doesn't.
That's good. And you can eventually also crawl your way to your car
Yeah, that's the goal.
and drive out of here.
Leaving the window open.
Of course. Eleanor, in the theater, they tie you to a chair. Miriam sits next to you, and with your hands strapped to the arm, she locks her fingers in yours and is excited to share with you Natra 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as, again, from behind the projector, the figure pushes itself free. And Marcus Alden does what he can to film the sixth movement with his new star. And then it cuts to black and it just says Natra. Congratulations, Cicero and Reginald. You guys both survive.
Woo! I wonder what
Barely.
to do with a hostage.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see what happens with that if you just like let her go in the woods and you're like, okay, Becky, bye.
Like, I think there would be some time of like trying to see if she comes to, like if whatever's affecting her, is that something that eventually happens, or is she always like in this mindset?
Yeah, she's always she's seen it, so she is like, I want this.
You should definitely just check her into one of the hospitals.
Yeah, just leave her at one of the hospitals. That would like at St. Meredith's, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, St. Meredith.
I actually feel like in a weird way, like the conversation with Hank and like regret, he's going to take her home to the farm
And turn her into a
and
pumpkin.
he's gonna keep her in like a room as like a bed patient, trying to work on her, like bring her back from the brink, is like a desperate attempt more to save himself than to save her.
Ooh, I like that. That's horrifying for everyone involved.
Yeah.
Man. Well, nice job, guys.
Yeah, thanks. That was a lot of fun.
That was a
That
lot
was
of
good.
fun. Thank you.
All right, YouTube, I'm going to say it one more time. If you like our Call of Cthulhu content, why don't you like, comment, and subscribe for more? As well, if you dig the longer form of just like, this is a 3-hour video as opposed to 4 1-hour videos that we normally do for the one-shots. If you like being able to watch the whole thing at once, let us know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. And as always, GG's.